beyond all reason. Please just let it go. Let it go, Victor. It is impossible for you to win this war.
Watch me.
You gave him everything he wanted, and betrayed your own daughter to do it. So where is he, Mom, huh? Where's Reg? Reg!
Moving speech, really. Almost Shakespearean, wasn't it?
All right, we are live. Happy Friday, you guys. I got Bree on the line with me today. Girl, listen, they already in there.
We got a lot to cover tonight. They gave us some material to talk about, y'all.
Yes, they did. Yes,
All three soaps.
Yes, they did. Girl. I mean, this whole, I'm surprised. I was actually interested in Y&R this week.
Yes. And bold was still bold, but we got some interesting updates for some couples there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you gotta, girl, you know you gotta fill all that in, child. Yes. All right, so let's go ahead, because I know we got a lot to unpack. Welcome, you guys, to Soap Corner Talk, where Bree and I am T, and I think Kesha's going to pop in a little bit late, where we're going to be recapping all of the CBS soaps, The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful, and Beyond the Gates for the week of June the 23rd through June the 27th. We are burning through these months like crazy. Oh my God, we headed into July in like, 3 days?
Yes, this is moving so fast.
I know.
4th of July is coming up.
Yeah, 4th of July is next weekend. I will say there's a lot of unhappy folks that the Beyond the Gates is going to be preempted for the whole week.
I'm one of them.
I know. I saw your messages in the chat. I'm like, oh boy. See, and the thing is, they end up giving us a promo for the week after, which is the July 7th week.
Oh my God. And it is fire. The preview itself was fire. You got Haley and Leslie trying to team up.
Girl.
And I got my theories as to why, too.
Girl. This is Beyond the Gates is off the chain. I think you guys posted an article in the chat about, or I saw it somewhere, it might have not been one of you all, but I saw it somewhere where they would say the best television show of 2025 was Beyond the Gates.
Oh, yeah. And Jenna herself said Beyond the Gates is killing it in the
They
chat.
are. I am glued. I don't want to miss nothing. That's how you're supposed to be with a soap. It shouldn't be Sleepy Town or here we go again. People still in the same outfit for 3 days and we're still talking about the same thing. Rinse, wash, and repeat. So it's good that Beyond the Gates got so many moving storylines. I mean, we got everything from the situation with Leslie and that helmet. We got the situation that's going on with Martin and everybody in the big wigs in town, including Joey, is part of this whole thing. I mean, it's just so many moving parts. We got the Allison, and now she's in a triangle with Allison and Chelsea and that other girl that now wants to be a part of her life.
Yeah, that was real random, real quick.
Exactly. We got Andre, Danny, and Ashley in a whole triangle. So it's just so many moving parts. It keeps you on your toes, and that is what any show should do. You should be looking forward to, what's next?
Like, I was genuinely mad that this was going to be preempted all week, and they show us the clips for the next time you're going to see them. I was so mad. I need to see Leslie and Haley. What are they talking about? I need to see the result of what happened with that guy that was trying to blackmail Martin. There's just so much. And then we got the head-to-head between Kat and Eva. Like, They're playing with my emotions,
And then
but we know it's not them.
we got the situation with Haley, that I didn't get to see Wednesday episode because our local television, like I was telling Bree a few minutes ago, our local television was preempted due to one of the officers in Chicago funeral. So I didn't get to really even see Wednesday. But from what I understand, it looked like Haley might be faking that pregnancy, I hear.
Yes. She faking a whole baby.
Wow.
Didn't want to do no ultrasound. Why?
I mean, if you worried about your baby, why wouldn't you want to do an ultrasound?
Faking cramps and everything. Oh, I cannot wait to talk about that.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl, we got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into all of it. So how many people in the chat?
Okay, let me refresh this. We got 61 in the chat. They were
Ooh,
ready.
they ready. Y'all ready? If y'all ready, drop a ready in the chat. Everybody drop the word ready in the chat. Let me see. If y'all ready for us to kick it off, drop ready in the chat. Let me see what y'all saw. Danny lose her sugar. Let's go. I know sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, this is a delay because Rosalind says 62. Okay, there we go. I see Jenna. Jenna says she ready. Indigo is ready. Sawana is ready. Look at there. Y'all ready.
Let's go.
All right. Y'all ready to do this. Okay. All right. So without any other further ado, let's go ahead and start with the Young and the Restless. And a lot of what happened this week is the unboxing of Aristotle Dumas, aka Kane Ashby.
Played by the very fine Billy Flynn.
Girl, okay. So of course, we kind of got a heads up, obviously outside of television media, that it was going to be the Kane character coming back. We didn't know what to expect. It was kind of weird, like, okay, Kane is Aristotle Dumas. That's what we waited 6 months for. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
I got to close my window because this train, give me 1 second.
Yeah, we got...
What'd you say?
And Billy Flynn, he actually did an interview about that. I'm not sure if you guys caught that on with Michael Fairman, and he said it's going to be a very brand new Kane that we're going to be watching here on screen. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm actually into it now. I know it was a slow burner since December, January, and now that we here at the end of June, I'm pretty interested in finding out how all of this is going to unfold. Amanda is a part of it. Bree, have you seen Monday's episode?
I've seen like 15 minutes of it. Okay. I got a phone call. I was in the middle of it. She was like, how was it?
Well, here's the thing. And I'm glad you brought that up about the interview because he said this is going to be a very different Kane. Well, Billy thinks that he knows this man for 15 years and he's going to be the one that's going to crack that egg with Kane. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I thought about that when he said that in Monday's episode, spoiler alert, because I'm like, yeah, the way that you actually so confident that that's going to happen tells me that the way that this is going to be written is that this is going to be a very different person. And now that you bring up the interview about this being a very different Kane, now that makes sense.
Yeah, he said anything that we knew before about Kane, he said that's that chapter. This is a completely different new chapter, and this is gonna be one that it's gonna be must-see TV. And from what I see, I cannot wait to see how he for one gets Lily back and how he's a power player against someone like Victor. I'm excited for this.
Oh, I'm definitely excited. Hey, listen, from the way it sounds, Kane Ashby, and the way he explained it to Victor, because the top picture in the upper left-hand corner is that conversation where Victor's like, look, let's just talk about this. How did you get where you did in 6 years? And I'm liking the fact that Young and the Restless had written this based on the times that we're in, because things like stocks and cryptocurrency is huge right now. And for them
Yeah.
to bring real world situations into the soaps, which obviously they're taking a pull out of Beyond the Gates, because Beyond the Gates always refer to real world situations and brands. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Listen, my dad turned his life around. He got sick. He was on his way out. He owned property. He sold the property, which is one of the biggest things that you can ever invest in, because usually there's a return on your investment, which is selling the property to liquidate it. Took that same money and invested into crypto, and he became a billionaire in 6 years. I cannot knock the hustle."
Me either. And that seems like how some of the power players, like even outside of the soaps, just in general, they get their fortunes
Mm-hmm.
through a lot of investments.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he had 6 years to keep building on that. So I can see how he was able to make his billions, actually.
Yeah.
Because didn't
Mm-hmm.
didn't Nick say that Kane's fortune's worth more than Chancellor, and Chancellor's $1 billion company?
Exactly, because not only obviously that he got the money for crypto, he created all of the acquired companies under the Arabesque empire that he owns, which is, and I love that part because I'm always looking at business stuff, and psychology and business is pretty interesting to me. But
Mm-hmm.
he took that the money that he made from crypto and created an empire, buying up businesses, putting it under that, and which is very smart to put it up under that, what they call that, a trust under Arabesque. And so all of those companies that Kane now have acquired is way worth more than Chancellor.
Yeah, and he wants to give up his fortune to Victor for Chancellor, so Lily can pretty much have that. That's the grand scheme of
But
things.
here's the thing: there's a lot of moving parts to this, and like Jenna just said, and wait till Monday's episode. See, I'm on the opposite end this weekend. Usually, Bree, you have already seen it, and I'm like, what happened?
I got like 15 minutes in. Oh man,
Girl,
I gotta
wait a
catch
minute.
Monday's episode.
There is no freaking they see, this is why I'm liking Kane, because he's outsmarting all of them. They think the road is out. Do you know Dumas, aka Kane, has now flew back to Genoa City? And they're stuck
Oh.
there.
Oh, I love this already. He got Victor to sit down, and he can't do nothing, can't call
Right,
nothing, and
right.
he's supposed to be Zeus, the
Girl,
gods, and he make everything move and shake, and this man put you in your place to sit down over there.
girl. Amanda, I'm sorry, you guys. I just have to say this, but spoiler alert. If you don't want to turn this, turn your volume down or close your ears. He got Amanda, got all them on hold. So while they
Mm.
busy trying to figure out what they gonna do with Kane, she watching all of them. And Kane is headed back to Genoa City, because remember, he's buying up companies all around their companies. Remember, Adam found all of that this week. I mean, last
Mm-hmm.
week, right? I'm like, anytime anybody can, I don't, Devon, Jack, everybody can outsmart them. But when you can outsmart Victor, oh, I'm gonna give you all the kudos for that.
Oh, I'm on Kane's side throughout this whole ride.
Mm.
I, I love the fact that we get to see someone really put Victor in his place.
You talking
Finally.
about reverse Uno?
Ooh, goodness.
Dr-
This This Kane is playing chess, not checkers. I do know that.
They obviously they knew. I mean, I'm wondering with the storm and everything. He knew to plan this out right. Maybe that's the rainy season of the year. That's maybe why he scheduled it so far out. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been waiting on this for 6 months, right? I don't know about the south of France or Nice or whatever, but it's interesting that he said, a storm is coming. Okay, is the weather like that all the time around this time of year? Who knows? But he got all of them thinking that they are stranded and they can't even call home. And this dude is headed back to Genoa City. The only person that can cut him off, well, technically, no, because nobody in Genoa City knows that Kane is Aristotle. So he can technically move about Genoa City like he want to. He could just say, "Hey, I came back, and I just wanted to see the old town." Don't nobody know he's Aristotle,
Except for Holden.
right? But Holden is working for him, and he's not gonna snitch.
Oh, that's gonna be so juicy. Because
Girl,
he got all the information, and he's also trying to be the shoulder for Claire to cry on too. So he's warming his way through the Newmans and the Abbott. He getting all the information. But I have my theory on what they're about to do.
okay.
I can't wait.
All right, I'm sorry. I just had to put that out there because the puzzle pieces are falling slowly into place. I mean, but that was the ultimate check and mate reverse Uno phase 10. You done went through all 10 levels. That dude got them on lock, especially Victor Newman. They are stuck out there with no cell service, and he's back in Genoa City making moves. Girl, I love it.
Me too. Oh, I can't wait. I get to watch the episode now.
All right, but a lot of that you won't find out until the end of the episodes. But there's other stuff that you got to get through. And I will tell you, Audra's been put on notice by Damien.
Oh. Oh, really? Like that has ever stopped Tempur-Pedic. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay. I'm going to leave it. I'll talk to you about that after you watch the episode. All right, so this past week, we had Kane trying to get Lily back. Now, this conversation, I know, is probably going to be a good 20 minutes because it doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I do realize that Lily doesn't know how Kane got his fortune. She's just assuming that he done things. I know you got some stuff. I'll let you go first.
And I'm like, I have issues with the fact that, for one, you were getting along with this man this whole entire time. You guys have a sit down, and he tells you that he wants his children that he shares with you to get to know his father. Mm-hmm. And he's well aware of the fact that his father had a bad past and also stole billions from Devon, but Kane was also the same person who helped get Devon his billions back. Wait a minute, say that.
I want you to say that last part so everybody in the back can hear it.
Kane helped Devon get his billions back.
Thank you.
Because I remember that whole season, Devon was over there looking stupid. And Kane helped him get that money back. This is also the same Kane who was going to try to ride it out with Lily while she was sitting in jail, and she was the one who wanted the divorce. They were perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he wants his kids to get to know his dad and said that he turned a new leaf and blah, 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 blah. Either which way, you want to cut him off and then tell him not to speak to his own kids?
Girl, she's a mess. That's why I was telling you I need a cat-like character to come onto The Young and the Restless and tell her about herself. And I got to give Kane a little bit of kudos when, they had that whole interaction and he called herself called her out for being all Miss High and Mighty because she was the one that set Damien in to be a double agent. He was like, listen, don't play all high and mighty because I know what was going on. I'm not stupid. You were going to try to use Damien to play double agent. She like,
Like, I had to see if you guys were coming after Winters.
Girl.
And now she just stuck on stupid. But this is absolutely disrespectful for this woman to say, I don't want you to see our kids. Like, who are you? And plus, these kids are grown.
Right. What are they, like 21 and 22? They're in college. They're around Faith's age.
Yes. So just the fact that she's so mad at, like, what is she mad at?
I don't even know why
this
she's
man
mad.
became a billionaire.
You know why she's mad? Here's the thing. And I'm just going to, and you let me know if maybe I'm missing something. But she claims that she's mad because all the time that they have been talking back and forth, he never told her about the billions that he was building throughout because remember, they've been in communication for the last 6 years and he never told her nothing about none of this. Okay, but you were in several other relationships. You were with Billy. You were with Daniel.
That part.
Who else? It was somebody else she was with in between there, wasn't it? Or just those two?
I think it.
Who was before? Who was before Billy?
Dang it!
I'm trying to remember.
Was it like a fling or something? I can't remember, but for sure, she was with Billy. She was living with Billy, and she exchanged keys with Daniel. She didn't have a relationship. She didn't have jobs. She didn't moved on.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and let's see, the kids would have been maybe 15 at the time, so they'd be in their late teens. They weren't like 5 and 6, and they were being obviously taken care of because they both had money. Why are you mad that he didn't blast to you about him making money those last 6 years? Oh, you didn't tell me all this was going on? He ain't got to tell you jack.
At all. And plus, that's his money. Ain't got nothing to do with you, Lily. That's why she's mad. She was with the man all this time. He acquired billions. And she can't get none of that. But here's the thing. He actually wants her.
Girl. Now, you going to get I already got my platinum simp. I'm about to give Dumas Kane a silver.
He might give him gold because he wants to give up his whole fortune.
I know. He wants to sell his whole entire catalog of businesses to get Chancellor to give it to Lily. Are you crazy? That woman is rude and disrespectful.
And she's not even trying to hear this man out about nothing. I'm like, this man is the father of your kids. And on top of that, they were on good terms.
Right.
So for her to sit there and say, like, oh, he made me feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortable why? Because he wants his kids to see his dad?
I don't understand. Okay, so there's two things. Number one, she was not in the know. And number two, she think this money came from Colin somehow. Being dirty. She think it's dirty money. Why don't you shut up long enough to ask him the real questions like, okay, let's sit down and talk. Explain this. How did you get this?
She wouldn't believe it.
Girl, and if she don't believe it, then that's her fault. She'd rather believe all the lies Victor told her versus your baby daddy.
And keep this in mind. She respects Victor, but she has a whole issue with Kane saying, like, oh, you made up a fake name and you acquired your wealth by doing bad business dealings. So keep in mind, Victor is not really Victor. His name is Christian. He created a whole identity.
Oh. Ding, ding, ding.
But
ding,
you
ding.
respect that.
You respect that, right.
And on top of that, however Victor got his billions, he was a ruthless businessman that her whole family respected. But that was okay.
But yeah, that's
But you have an
okay.
issue.
She
But
don't
you have
even
it
respect her own brother as a billionaire.
at all. At all. But she said, like, oh, you created a fake name and a fake alias. And this is Victor is a whole fake alias.
Girl, that's a good one.
That is the truth. And they
Oh,
all
Lord.
kissing this man's feet.
Girl, I'm just glad Kane is outsmarting Victor. I mean, Jack and Devon, whatever. I mean, they always get checkmated. But Victor he's about to get checkmated. I love it.
And she's really gonna love this too. And I'm hoping that she's gonna be the one that's gonna be chasing after Kane. If another
Well,
woman doesn't get a hold of him.
I seen some spoilers that point to Phyllis. That not only she gets a good opportunity, but she gets a new love. And I think that might be Kane.
Really?
That's what I think. I mean, I could be wrong. This is just a speculation. I don't know. Those two things is what Phyllis is supposed to get. The character.
Ooh. Okay. Look, as long as she gets a man and be quiet.
Think
I'm
about
cool.
it. Think about it. It's the ultimate. You know how they say success is the best revenge, right?
Yeah.
She getting revenge up on Billy because Billy thinks that he's going to have a beeline to Kane because, oh, I know him. I've known him for 15 years. I know how he thinks and how he acts. He even called this man his brother on Monday.
What?
Yeah. He's like we've had our odds, but he's like my brother. Yeah, okay. You're saying that because you think that you can get Chancellor. Girl, Monday is good. And check out what Sally wants from him. Anyway, so
What?
So he thinks that man got all the confidence in the world that he can break him down. Lily and Devon and Chance are figuring out a way to break down Kane. Oh no, break down Amanda. And she's watching them plot against her.
I'm so stuck on the Billy calling Kane like his brother.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So if Kane gets with Phyllis, Kane gets with Phyllis, that's going to make her one of his sidekicks in the business along with being in a relationship. That's the ultimate stick it to you for both Lily and Billy.
Good for Phyllis to get with a billionaire. Okay, and a fine one at that. But for anyone who hasn't watched, like, I don't know if there's like new viewers to YNR, but Kane and Billy, they used to go at it for years. It was not about women, baby mothers, Lily, Chloe. They were enemies. They hated each other. And Jill treated Kane more like a son than Billy did, and Billy hated that. So I got to watch Monday's episode. For him to even call Kane remotely a brother or anything, that is insane.
Exactly.
They're really twisting up this whole storyline arc
for
Kane.
Exactly. All right, so the other part that we need to talk about with Lily is her using Damien to stick it to Kane. And it was just so awkward because y'all was in a whole argument. Damien comes over to check on you, and you just decide to smash lips with him to make Kane feel some kind of way. If you really don't have feelings for this man, why would you even care?
And the fact that she was using this man came up from out of some water. He was shirtless. You saw all the muscles and the tattoos. This man was looking.
Yeah.
He was looking good to me.
Yeah, well, look at that picture right there, third down on the left.
Oh, my goodness. Look, I'm an arms girl. I love arms. Oh, man. And the fact that she's just using this fine-looking man to prove a point to Kane. I mean, say you don't have feelings for this man still without saying it.
The interesting thing is how they progressed this whole thing. So originally, Keisha's in the
Oh,
house.
hey,
Hey
Kate.
y'all,
Girl,
look, I ain't even finished YNR. I was over here falling asleep.
what?
What?
I was 2 episodes behind. I didn't realize
Oh,
it.
okay.
So the one that I thought that was today went off, and then another one was coming on. I'm like, what in the world? And I tried to sit through it, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna finish this.
Okay,
Oh, we
so
got you.
wait, Keish, you actually thought was boring on the last couple episodes of YNR?
I I don't. I just couldn't. It's just not keeping my attention for some reason. The
Okay.
only part of it, I would say the only parts are like the Lily and Kane interaction.
Okay, well,
And
what you think about it? Because we were just roasting Lily.
um, hmm.
She said,
So I can understand her frustration with him. I get changing his identity or whatever, using that alias and kind of keeping her in the dark about it while doing all this secretive stuff. But what I didn't like was the flashback of her, where they were talking about his, excuse me, how his father was sick, and wasn't going to be there much longer, and he was asking her if the kids could come and see him, or she would come and see him, or something like that. I can understand if she didn't want to be bothered with Colin because of what he did to Devon or what he tried to do to Devon. But Maddie and Charlie are adults, so I don't even know why he was going through her to ask if the kids could come and see his father. That didn't make sense to me.
that's interesting. You know what? You got a point there, unless she was telling them. Because you got some times where you have one of the either parents influencing the children. And remember, she said in that flashback, well, they know how I feel about Colin.
Yeah, but does he
Mm-hmm.
not have direct contact with his own kids?
Apparently not
Apparently
now
not now.
because
So
of
that,
Lily.
Mm-hmm.
but is it because of Lily or is it because of her?
We don't have
Like,
enough
can
of
he
that
reach?
backstory to
Yeah,
figure that
like
out.
I guess in my mind, why are you not able to reach out directly to your children? Do you not have their numbers?
No, he had. They were. That's the thing. They were on good terms. Lily keeps saying that they were on good terms. They had one conversation where he wanted his kid to go see his dad and spend time with his dad, and she said no, cut off all communication with the kids, and I don't want to ever see you either.
But how does she cut off communication with two adult children who have cell phones?
She
Girl,
she
she's
feels that she has a
entitled.
bigger influence.
She always feel like she's entitled to say, well, I don't want you to talk, to stay away from the kids. How you going to tell that man to stay away from his kids?
Exactly. It's disrespectful. That's his kids.
It still doesn't make sense to me though. Why? Yes, she said that, but you still have the ability to contact your adult children, regardless of what she says.
Right.
So if he's just not trying at all, just because Lily is saying you can't, part of that is on him. Now, if he's trying and his kids are ignoring his calls, then that's on the kids.
Right.
And yes,
And I guess
I'm not
we
saying
don't.
that Lily doesn't have influence over them. I mean, of course she does. But if he's reaching out to them directly and they're not responding to him, then part of that is also them too. It's all very weird to me.
Yeah, I just think we don't have, and they just, I don't know. The way that was scripted is if she's just trying to tell him to stay away from the kids. The other parts about whether or not he's reached out to them, whether or not they're taking his calls or having conversations with Kane, they're not giving us none of that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to piece that part together. We were also talking about what do you think about the fact that she's mad that he's now this billionaire?
I don't. I guess I don't understand her anger in that unless she thinks that he's conned his way into the money and not, didn't do it the right way. But I mean, outside of that, if he legally became a billionaire, then I don't understand where her anger is coming from.
Yeah,
They're not married anymore. They don't have their kids aren't underage, so it really is none of her business.
that's what we were
Exactly.
saying. She
It's
was
not
in two separate whole relationships over the past 6 years that we counted. If that man sat around there and made all that money, and she won't even ask. Only reason we heard about him getting the money that Colin sold his property and him taking that money and putting it in the crypto was when he had the conversation with Victor. Um, but Lily won't even give him the opportunity to say, "Listen, this is how all that." Because she keep asking everybody else, "We need to find out why this is happening and where did he get the money from." Well, he can tell you,
Yeah, he wants to tell her.
right?
That's the thing. She don't want to hear him.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, the one person she would listen to is Victor. If Victor went and told her about that conversation, she'll believe him over Kane.
Yeah.
I don't know why it matters to her. Like, why does it matter to her?
Yeah, that's a good question, Keish. Why does it matter so much about him being a billionaire? Your kids are set.
For life.
Thank you.
And their kids, everything is set for life. And she doesn't want this man anymore. So that's not even her money for her to be concerned with. Yeah. And then she knows that he's trying to go after Chancellor, and she knows that he wants her. So she put two and two together. He's trying to get the company for you, and you don't want him.
And this man is willing to sell off the rest of his empire, so he says, because at the same time he's buying up stuff in Genoa City, but he want to sell whatever parts to Arabesque to get Chancellor, which is way less in value than his Arabesque companies.
Exactly. So what is she mad about?
Exactly.
She's mad like you faked your name, you faked your identity. So has Victor. He is a walking alias. His name is Christian.
Yep.
That's you respect him.
We had to get you caught up, Keish. What we was talking about. The other thing we were just talking about before we move on to the Kyle Holden thing, because everybody's like, "Can we please talk about Kyle and Holden and Audra and Claire?" What did you think about her using Damien to stick it to Kane?
That was immature.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason for her to do that other than to piss off Kane. But it was also kind of cruel because if you're not into Damien like that, then why? I don't know. I mean, she told him that what she was doing, so it's not like he doesn't realize that she was doing it to make Kane jealous. But still, like that's cruel to do to somebody that you know is into you and has been into you for months now.
Well, and here's the thing, Keish, is that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of pathetic.
And he accepted the lie that she told that, "Oh, I've been thinking about kissing you too." Lies. Straight up lies. I was so mad. Look how fine that man is in that picture.
Yeah, it was just that was her being petty and immature.
That's a good statement. Monique Abram 9324 says you only make somebody jealous if you're feeling them. Why would you? That's what I was just saying earlier. If you can't stand this man, you have no feelings, the love is gone. Why do you have to make a whole spectacle of kissing another man in front of him unless you are trying to get back at him for what?
And Monique also had a good comment earlier too. She said Kane is only on good terms with Lily if he does what she wants.
Yeah, that child. She need to go take several seats.
For last season and this season.
Yeah, because she's been doing too much since 24. All right, so let's go into, because I know everybody's ready to jump into the Holden, Claire, and Kyle, and Audra space. Where y'all want to start with that? I mean, Audra is just so obvious. And my thing is, she thinks that she can pull this thing off when you got the family of your boyfriend there, the family of Kyle there, and you think you was just going to figure out a way to pull this off in front of them. Even Sally is recognizing what's going on.
She's recognizing that Audra is attracted to this man, staring at this man, and like openly flirting since she got there. And at first I was thinking, okay, she's really trying to work him. But when they got to the pool, the way she was looking at this man, I'm like, you're not even remotely thinking about Nate at all.
Well, that's part of the call out on Monday from Damien.
Oh. And even when she saw Kane, she was like, oh, he's a very handsome billionaire. Like, he's definitely capturing everyone's attention. I'm like, girl.
Did you see
Lord.
when Kyle called her out on that and said, I saw you checking him out?
She's like, but I'm so loyal to Nate. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my relationship with Nate. She's forever got to be reminded that she got a man.
Girl.
Sally had to remind her. And for Sally to be the voice of reason, that's saying something.
I know, right? What you got? What you got, Keish, on the whole Kyle and Lord? What you got on those two, Kyle and Audra?
Nothing, because I didn't pay attention to their scene. I remember a scene of Sally and Audra walking into that little courtyard area, and Kyle I think he was working out or something like that. But I honestly don't remember what else happened after that or what was said. I think Audra and Sally sat down and were talking, but I don't remember the conversation.
Okay.
And I don't remember.
Was it boring to you, or it's just like whatever?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
The whole Kyle Audra thing was just kind of boring to me. So I guess it didn't. I wasn't really tuned into it.
Oh, okay.
I don't blame you, because Audra is moving like a used mattress. And it clearly shows that she has no loyalties except for herself. And the fact that you have Sally saying, hey, you might want to slow down. You might want to get it together. Remember, you're in a whole relationship. But the fact that this woman is just the way that she was eyeing this man. And then she had this man put whole lotion on her. And Kyle was a willing participant.
Sally's been trying to talk her out of doing this since she first told her about the idea.
Yeah, I mean that shows their friendship.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How is this supposed to work? I mean, they have no cell and no nothing. Was she supposed to set up a camera showing the two of them being real close or whatever? I don't understand how she's going to pull this off for Claire, supposedly, to feel some kind of way about them being over there.
That's a good question.
How are you supposed to pull this off? You got a camera set up somewhere?
I don't think she needs to even do that, because like you were pointing out earlier.
Well, you haven't seen Monday's episode.
Ooh.
But go ahead.
What happened?
She said, what happened? A lot happened, girl. I don't know. Well, first of all, Nate is going to call her out, but Kyle and Diane has a conversation about what's going on. Here's the interesting thing also, too. She actually thinks that not only she can take down Kyle, but also this competition that she have with Jabot and Jabrante. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
on this island know who Kane is. They don't even care. They want to go home. So,
Yep.
and Kane has had zero conversation with either Kyle or Audra. So when is this so-called big competition supposed to happen? Because even though she's using the competition to take down Kyle, she actually still thinks this is going to work to blow up her business too. I don't see that happening on this island. Everybody want to
She.
go home. They know who Kane is. And even Kyle was like, it's over. What do we need to do this for now? Kane don't care about no Vibrante.
Right.
She was in her feelings, like, no, we need to strategize. We need to do such and such. And I don't want to leave. And then Billy Kane comes and chimes in. Is like, oh, I'm with Audra. Like, well, we should stay. Enjoy the festivities.
He's stupid.
Sally was pissed.
Yeah, Sally was pissed. Sally's like, what you say? What you mean?
And all of this is going on, and poor Claire is having a whole panic attack.
Oh,
And
sorry,
Janice-
Belinda. Yeah, I mean, not Nate. Damien is the one calling out
Yeah.
Audra. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Mhm. Defending his brother, good. But you got all of this going on. Kyla's swimming in the pool, relaxing, and Claire is in a full panic about her dad.
Yeah, so let's
And-
switch back to Genoa City then. Because, yeah, Claire, obviously we found out that Cole has Legionnaire's disease. He waited too long because I was like, let me look that up. And it is curable with not penicillin, but with antibiotics early on if you catch it early. But remember, this man was sitting up in a hotel by himself. He didn't go to no hospital or doctor. Felt better. Got sick again at that birthday party of Nikki's. And now he's back in the hospital. Now it's too far gone.
Yeah, and according to the previews, he's ready to say his goodbyes.
Right. So now, obviously, going back to this week, Claire is upset, and all of a sudden she got to go take a walk. And this man, Holden, is running through the park at night with his chests out. His chesticles. His chesticles. Yeah, his pexticles out. And
Wait, his what?
His pexicle.
Yeah, his pecs. His pecticles.
It sounded like a T at first.
Oh, girl. Yeah. Oh, no, girl, not that. Not that. And then she's having this panic attack, and he gets her to calm down. They have a conversation, and, they decide to go have Vespers and all this sort of kind of stuff. Them two are getting close.
Yep.
There's chemistry there.
And I'm wondering if that's by design.
Wait. Keith said, is there?
What?
Is there chemistry?
You don't think so?
I mean, I can see that obviously they're trying to make them close, but I don't see the chemistry between the two of those characters.
I feel they've had chemistry since day one. Like the way that she's a whole different person with Holden than she is with Kyle.
Right.
It feels more
adult,
flirty, more grown up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes the attention this man gives her too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're not feeling it?
I know that that's what they're trying to push. I just don't see the chemistry between those two characters.
Okay, gotcha.
I think this is by design for this man to get very close to anyone within the Newmans, and since she's brand new and kind of green-eyed, he's trying to worm his way in somehow, especially since we know he's working with Kane. But she likes crying on this man's shoulder. This is not the only time.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of interesting things happening because then we had a conversation too with Nate and Victoria.
They might spin the block, y'all.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what's going on right there?
Like she didn't change her whole tune. She was crying, upset, and then she was talking about you're always such a great doctor. You had such a nice, calm, gentle bedside manner, and Are we still on good terms? I know things ended badly with our families, but
Then she
we've been
said,
friends
how are
this whole
things
time.
between you and Audra? Why do you?
Yeah. I'm like, this is like, you were
Victoria
just
said that to
upset.
Nate?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, dang, they ain't wasting no time, huh?
Right.
Nope. I knew they were trying to get her set up for her new man. That's usually what they do with Victoria. So they're about to have her spin the block when it comes to Nate. And for her to ask, like, oh, I've never trusted Audra. Like, you're such a great guy. You're a great friend. I'm so glad that we're on good terms. And he's talking about, like, it's water under the bridge. And, I want the best for all the Newmans. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That changed real quick.
Yeah, so it's a lot of interesting things. So, I mean, obviously we saw whatever this is where Lily claims that she's been wanting to kiss Nate. We see whatever is happening between Claire and Holden. Look like you said, there's a spin the block thing that might happen between Nate and Victoria.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and then who knows? Maybe this I'm so stuck with the do my thing. Kane, maybe end up with Phyllis.
There's just so much that just. I like this shift. I feel like this is their sweeps month. I feel like we're getting sweeps worthy things in comparison to the actual sweeps month.
Right. I'm okay, Paris. Thank you. She said, "Not Lily kiss Nate. You mean Lily want to kiss Damien?" Yes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So obviously they're doing some interesting things this summer. With these folks, maybe they want to move some pieces around with who is connecting with who and all this kind of stuff. I guess we'll see, because now I'm wondering why Dumas, now we're switching back to Nice, why Dumas wanted Michael there. Well, we found out why Chance is there, because he said, Kane is like, I think somebody gonna try to kill me, and so I need you here as a cop.
Instead of getting a Italian cop.
Right, you get somebody from Genoa City to come, but I guess he considered him family.
I guess so. But what can Chance do in Italy? Like, he has no jurisdiction.
Right.
So
exactly.
He keeps saying, he told Chance, he said, by the end of this week, I feel someone within this group is going to try to unalive me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel he's setting somebody up, and I think Damien's going to be the one to take that fall, especially since he knows that he wants Lily. And he already planted seeds like, oh, you shouldn't trust him and blah, 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 blah. And he gave Damien a fair warning like, hey, you might as well don't work at Winter, stay away from Lily and blah, blah, blah. But the fact that now Kane, from what you guys were saying from Monday's episode, is in Genoa City while they're all stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
He about to try to pull something off. And I think he's going to have Damien take that fall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, remember, we're losing, what's the guy that played Chance?
Connor Floyd.
Yeah.
Connor Floyd.
Yeah, so he's going to replace his job over at Days, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy Flynn.
Right. So,
and they kind of resemble each other.
Yes, they do.
So I'm wondering, with, Chance leaving, is he the one that's going to get murked?
That's a good question. Something's about to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, since you guys said he's in Genoa City now, if he's going to fly back to Nice all of a sudden, as if he hasn't left. I don't know.
They don't know. I think that's the purpose of the maze. Because one thing about, I know me, myself, when I'm in a new area, I'm going to trying to figure out my way around town, right?
Mm-hmm.
That maze keep everybody confused. So, I mean, if he can keep them in a place, because I was wondering what's the purpose of the maze? It's to keep confusion.
Oh, Jenna.
What Jenna say?
Jenna said Kane is going to fake his unaliving and set up Victor to take the blame. That's why Michael is there.
What? Ooh, that would be good.
That would be really good, except, he already done fired Michael. So Michael would be a fool to disrespect his wife to try to help Victor.
Right. That would be interesting.
When has Michael really ever cared about that?
About his wife? Never.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to Victor, Victor has always come before Lauren, except for this 1 month that has been since he hasn't worked for Victor.
See, Michael needs to have a little bit more, let's see, how should I say it? A little bit more stronger boundaries, like Bill Hamilton being an attorney for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Vernon wasn't a house husband this week.
Nope.
He let it be known. He runs. When Anita's out of town, he's no house husband. Let me say that. He's running things.
I was shocked at that, but we'll get to that later. But Bill was like, okay, I guess I do what I gotta do. Anyway. What else we had? Well, we also had the conversation between Phyllis and Sharon. What did y'all think about that? Do y'all think that was real connection, or they just playing nice and being fake?
I didn't see it.
That was on today's episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was more believable than Brooke and Taylor.
I agree.
Being friends. Like, I was actually rooting for these two women. Like, it seemed like it was genuine. Like, Phyllis actually received Sharon's concern for her.
Mm-hmm.
And Phyllis actually was rational. She was calm. They seemed like they were generally at least trying to be friends. And that picture right there at the bottom right, that's how they left.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the man. They're not fighting over no man, no nothing. They are generally trying to be friends. Like, it was the Twilight Zone, but it was more believable than Brooke and Taylor, to be honest.
Right. And that whole, what was that pact?
The friendship pact
or
that
whatever.
broke before Christmas.
Yeah, of what was that, 22? I think, or 20. Yeah, it was before the Thope thing. So yeah, in 22, and going into 23.
It lasted 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Because Brooke broke it.
Yep. So, did we cover everything on YNR? I know it was a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff we was tripping on was Lily.
I think that should be it. My only thing when it came to the Phyllis and Sharon thing, Sharon was telling this woman, don't work for Kane, like he could work someplace else. Offer her a job at your company.
Exactly. Since you got a tech, we've been talking about that for the longest. You got a tech company. She's a techie person. Why not give her a job over there? Because Phyllis was honest. She's like, look, I need a job. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
So you telling me I don't need to go over there and work, like you said, Bree. Why don't you give me a job then?
Yeah. Then, like, you're telling this woman, you're warning this woman, and you're trying to give her all these praise and all of this. Okay, you know her expertise, and you want to be a friend, offer her a job.
Exactly.
You can use that. I don't know. Okay, I guess. But that was it. That's it.
You got anything else you want to say on YNR, Keish?
No, not a single thing.
Okay. All right. That was quick. All right. Let's go to bold. We got the storyline with Brooke and Taylor and Ridge and Nick. And then we got the storyline with this whole entrapment of Luna. So let's get Brooke and all that out the way. I'm gonna ask y'all one question, and I'm gonna ask y'all a question in this chat. Drop a one in the chat if you thought it was cool for Taylor to propose to Ridge, or drop a two for a no. So one, yeah, it was okay. Two, no, I ain't like it. Let's see what they say. And then I'm going to ask for y'all commentary. Jenna says she done with this. Oh, dang. Okay, so Melissa says a 2. Jenna says 1. Sawana says 2. Wow, okay. We got a bunch of 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's only 2 people, Jenna and Hazel. Man, Allison, we get the point, girl. She got like a whole bunch of 2s in there.
She got a 2,200,022.
I mean, that's how many times they've gotten married and gotten engaged back and forth over the years. So that was accurate.
Oh, Jenna says she thought that was powerful. I guess I understand that there are lately some women proposing to men. I guess that's your choice. But it's that man is the problem.
And that history.
And that history. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, who want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
For me, this was the weirdest proposal I've ever witnessed to, because she goes to propose to him and she pulls out a ring from back in the day that he gave her and had this man put the ring on her finger, but he still wanted him to say yes. I will say Taylor had a better success rate than Carter. Because Carter was struggling for 3 episodes to get that girl to say yes. Taylor was able to get it done in an episode and a half. So kudos to her. It was as weird as I've ever seen it, but he said, and the thing is, he said he's in love with her. He said, yes, I want you to be my wife. You make me happy and all this different things. So there wasn't a pew pew to his head otherwise. So this was just, it is what it is. A part 100, like I said.
She actually kept that ring from the time from St. Thomas proposal. How many years is that?
That was when Ridge and Taylor got engaged. That was like season 3.
Oh my God. So you're talking about almost 30 years ago.
Over 35 years ago.
Season 3.
Because
okay,
they're
this
in
is
season
38.
38.
Right. So yeah, 35 years ago you held that ring from St. Thomas.
Yep. And this is when Brooke was pregnant with Eric's baby, actually.
Wow.
But yeah, there was like, I remember that episode clearly. She had the treasure box and he had the ring in it. He proposed to her. That's the old episodes I keep watching on YouTube, but it's just, she kept the ring. I would keep all the rings all these men gave me, all these rich men. Can you imagine the jewelry collection both Brooke and Taylor have?
I know,
they would
right?
put K Jewelers out of business.
Just random rings everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the rings.
Listen, I guess, because I don't want to speak on anybody's choices. You do what you want to do. I do see some comments that say, like Sawana says, if a man loves you, wait till they ask you to marry them. I get it. However, Ridge is the issue with me.
Yes.
Because of the fact that this man just left you at the altar 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. So you get scared because of how he was watching her at the fashion show, because Eric don't like, the fact that the two of you together, and the fact that you felt some kind of way to try to keep Nick away from Brooke, that she's like, ooh, I'm finna try, because to me, I think this is about proving something. She wanted to see what that back him in the corner to see if he actually is going to do what she expected him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Belinda Hill said Taylor is just as pitiful as Ashley on Beyond the Gates.
Mm-mm. I
Ooh,
don't
wee.
know.
Taylor and
Ashley,
Brooke are both pitiful.
Yes.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter that Brooke has been able to, I guess, hang on to him longer in the last 20 years. She still does some pitiful stuff when it comes to him. She still begs him. Someone her age should not still be talking about how her and Ridge are learning from their mistakes, learning from the mistakes that they've made in their relationship, and they're still growing together. Like, girl, you've been with this man on and off for almost 40 years now. If you guys are still learning and growing, I think it's past time for you to move on.
Especially when your kids are grown and you got grandkids. I mean,
Yeah.
He got kids with both of these women.
It shouldn't take you 40 years to finally, get your relationship together.
Yeah, that whole thing is a mess. And I mean, Taylor was the one that came to town talking about, I don't need no man to be happy. Remember all that crap that she was speaking last fall?
And the very next week, we hear her talking about how he's the love of her life and all that other old nonsense.
The girl had
this
a
man
whole
that left you at the altar.
Right, she had a whole collapse watching the two of them kiss.
Yeah.
And she had a whole broken heart syndrome because of this man. That's why it's hard to root for this proposal, because I would love for this to stick. I love Taylor. I would love for this to stick.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also the same man who caused her to have a whole health condition. She thought that she was about to be unalive.
Right. She was going to say goodbye to her kids, and I come home because she thought she had congestive heart failure.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff. And come to find out, Dr. Buckingham said, listen, your heart is fine. You just had your heart broken too many times. And you go and get back with the man that said that gave you the broken heart syndrome. You proposed to
him.
Yeah. Ugh.
And she only did it because she's insecure.
Yep. That's the perfect word. All this is because of the events that happened when Nick came to town. Ridge got in his feelings, telling Brooke to stay away from him, and she's like, "Oh, he don't want Brooke to be moving on. What's up with that?"
Oh my goodness. Jenna, you make a very valid point. She said, she loves Ridge, but she's been without him for years. And that's my other thing with that too. So there was no other man while you were in these other countries, away from your kids, while they were going through their trauma and their struggles. You mean to tell me there was no other man? Ridge is just the only one that can love you, respect you. Can't even do neither of those, but that's what she feels.
Apparently so.
I will say, and no shade to Rebecca, I don't see the chemistry between those two. They don't have any on-screen chemistry to me.
They do on the other soap, because they were working
But that was years ago, right?
I don't think it was all that long ago. We had to ask Jane Money. Well, I don't know, the people in the chat. You guys seen Thorson and Rebecca on the other soap? I think it was it All My Children? One of those. And they were in a lot of different scenes together. They were in a whole storyline arc together. But
well, on this soap, I don't see it. He had more chemistry with the last girl. What was her name? Krista Allen. There was chemistry there.
The way he looked at her and stared off at her, you can feel it through the screen. It was something else with him and Krista. Not to say that Rebecca isn't, I don't even know how to say it. it's just, this Taylor is just different. And I can't even root for him and Brooke either, because it seems like he gets more excited when he sees the other counterparts. You know, we saw him had really great chemistry with him and Quinn, who played by Rena Sofer. He got really excited
with Shauna
with
too.
Shauna, played by Denise Richards. Like, he gets more excited by the other counterparts.
Yeah, him and KKL to me have they've always had negative chemistry. I've never seen it with those two, and it highlights it even more when they have another woman playing off of him.
Jasmine Williams said Minnie Mouse is a total dud.
You said what?
Minnie Mouse.
Jasmine Williams said Minnie Mouse is a total dud. Oh goodness. Look, I'm a short queen as well. Okay, it's not easy being tiny. Okay?
But because a lot, I was saying, hey, give her a chance. Let's see. And it's not that she's not a great actress. I just don't. They're trying to. I don't see the chemistry between these two. They look like they would be good friends, good co-workers, but. Yeah, I'm not into their love scenes. Like when they were in Aspen, I did a whole video edit on that scene. It was hot with Krista and Torsten in Aspen.
The way he pulled her onto his lap.
Girl, and she was grabbing the edge of that mattress, and he was behind her, and I'm like, holy crap.
Oh my goodness. It was hot. It was fire. I think the scene that I actually liked with Rebecca and Thorsten was when they were playing like a cute couple on the couch where they were like kissing all over each other, being like, that felt like, okay, they're a real couple. That felt genuine. But I don't know, it's just maybe for me, I'm just tired of this rinse and repeat.
Probably, yeah.
And that's what it is for me too.
It's just a burnout.
Yeah, I don't mind I think the two of them have chemistry, in my opinion.
Okay.
I see it for myself, but I'm to the point where I don't want Taylor and Rich together because Rich he's basically cracked on her for the last 20 years. Especially what he did a couple of years ago. Like, he straight up lied to her. He lied to his kids when they all asked him, are you doing this because you want to do this? Or are you only doing this because you're mad at Brooke? And he said it has nothing to do with Brooke. And the minute he found out that CPS call was not real, he immediately walked out the door on Taylor.
Yep.
Not only did he walk out the door on her, he kind of put the blame on her. He treated it as if Taylor was lying, had planned this whole thing and was lying to him this whole time, and she knew 5 minutes before they got married.
Right.
So it's that kind of stuff that I just can't get past. He's left her at the altar 3 times for the same woman.
And that's why Brooke thinks she got. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Keith.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say nobody held his feet to the fire for it. His kids didn't. Taylor didn't. Everybody was just back to normal.
I would love if they had her like interact with the different characters. Like, there's other men on the show. Bill is single as a dollar bill. Pun intended.
Right.
And then we could have saw her with Deacon. We could have. The fact that they brought the Taylor character back, the only reason she came back was she saw Brooke and Ridge over in Monte Carlo, and had called her daughter and said like, "Oh, I'm coming home," and all of a sudden she had this whole medical condition, and that wasn't enough motivation for her to spend time with her kids, but she was motivated to see Ridge back in LA. I don't like that. And the fact that they got this grown woman up in his daddy's house for months, not trying to move forward with anything. Ridge is just perfectly fine with things as they are. They've been together for almost a whole year, and it's like he's a kid. Like, it's not. He's taking. It's hard for me to believe this. He's taking it seriously. Like, I'm rocking with it because that's who he says that he loves and he's in love with. He could have went back to Brooke at any point in time and juncture, especially after several months has passed now since they got the company back. They had a whole fashion show, all of these different things. But I don't want him to tell Taylor one thing and just to go back to Brooke, because it's more the same what we've been seeing for years.
He's gonna do it. It's inevitable. I mean, it's gonna happen.
I mean, you see it every time that he hugs her. They always have him have that look of that look. Yep, he's just staring off into space, like he's just not really there. He's just going through the motions because he feels like he has this obligation to Taylor because he told her that he wouldn't hurt her again, and he's not really there because he is in love with her like that. Like we've never seen Ridge just have this blissful look of happiness on his face when Taylor isn't looking at him.
Did y'all see how she kissed him at the restaurant? He didn't even come halfway. She came and reached over on that table and kissed him.
Well, the fact that he sat there after she asked him to marry her, and it was like he was sitting there trying to come up with reasons as to why they didn't need to get married and doing all the huffing and puffing. It's like, you shouldn't have to convince or beg this man to agree to marry you. Not somebody that you've known for 30 plus years, and that you've been married to before, and that he claims to love you, and no, that's not how it's supposed to work. And it's like she just keeps begging him. It's pathetic.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I won't feel sorry for her when he goes back to Brooke. Whenever they do this little, I don't know if it'll happen in Italy or when they come back, but I believe by the end of this year that Brooke and Ridge will be back together, if not before that. Because they've only been together for maybe 7 months or so, because they got together November, whenever that the takeover happened.
Almost a year. And they've been staying in his dad's place for just the same amount of time too.
Yeah, well, she moved in maybe a couple of weeks after.
Yep.
And it was right before Christmas or right after Thanksgiving or something. It was sometime in there. So they only been together for about 7 months.
Yep.
It's just like Medora said. It's the merry-go-round with these people, and there's other characters they could have introduced Taylor to, like Finn's dad. Like the fact that Bill was just like off into, like, they haven't even, like, what is going on with the Bill character? Like, we see him like once every blue moon. And he hasn't had a love interest since Pompey, and that was how many months ago? Like, just weird that they are just boxing her in with this whole Ridge and Brooke thing. Like, why?
Yeah, I feel like they don't care enough about the Taylor. Obviously, we've seen it in the last 25 years or so, or 20 years or so. They don't care enough about the Taylor character to invest in her like that, to give her her own love story outside of Ridge and that triangle, because they always pull her back in. They pull her back on screen for a few years and throw her in the middle of Brooke and Ridge to give them a story.
Because They did when it was Hunter Tylo, because she had other husbands. She was with guy starts
She
with
was
the name
with
of the Whip,
Whip,
and then she was with
Nick.
Nick,
Mhm.
and then Thorne, on and off for years as well. So she's had other relationships. Is they keep throwing her into Brooke and Ridge's stuff to
But
try
you
to
see when that stopped, right? Like
yeah.
when Bell Senior, was when he passed away and Junior took over. That last time that she came back from the dead, like that's when I feel like the story started to change where she was concerned, and they were they treated that character like crap. And I know I've talked about this before on this podcast about, I think the cruelest thing they did to her was when her and Nick were trying to have a baby, and they implanted her with Brooke's egg. They couldn't even. They wouldn't let her have Ridge. Her and Ridge couldn't get back together. They have her move on to Nick, and then they have Brooke interfere in that.
Yeah, that's
whether
crazy.
it was directly or indirectly. Brooke had to also ruin that marriage for Taylor. So it's like, it was just like from 2004, 2005 on, embarrassment after embarrassment, rejection from Ridge after rejection. They let her move on, and then it gets ruined by Brooke, or either her thinking that she can go back to Ridge, and then Ridge ends up rejecting her in the end. And then her screen time gets less and less, and she, becomes a recurring character. And then we only see her like every 5 years or so. She'll come on for 2 or 3 years, and then she's gone again. And they've basically switched her story up to where, even though she's got 2 children on the show, well, I mean, Thomas is off screen now. Every time they've brought her back in recent times, it's always been about, they make it about Ridge.
Yeah.
She doesn't live in LA because she can't stand to see Ridge and Brooke together. Like, how pathetic is that?
Right.
That's how they write her story now. It's all about Ridge, and it's all about Brooke.
Yep. Yeah. Now I want to move on a little bit, because we're at the other side of the coin with Nick trying to get with Brooke. Mm-hmm. She don't want that man.
No. And why would any woman want to get with the man who was with her daughter? I mean, that's just me personally. But the fact that he's bringing up all these old memories and stuff. And Nick, keep in mind, I actually loved Brooke and Nick back in the day. For whatever reason, he was just the anti-Ridge I was always just rooting for. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was just one of the messiest men on the show, because he got with every woman, the mother, the daughter, the ex-wife, like Katie even.
Mm-hmm. Both sisters.
Felicia too. He got with everybody. He was just messy boots. But I did like the fact that when she moved on with Nick, she was fully invested with him. And the fact that Nick is bringing up all these old memories, especially now, I'm like, this woman is zeroed in on Ridge, and it's not going to change. Like, it's almost a waste of your time for you to even worry about this woman. I'm glad that they mentioned their son, Jack.
Right.
I was shocked.
Yeah, that's the same child that, for anyone who's new, like, that's the same child that Taylor was carrying. That's the child that Brooke and Nick share. Mm-hmm. That was stripped away from her. That's bad storyline. But yeah, she doesn't want this man at all.
Nope. So go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, how much better of a story would it have been for Nick to come back and to have him be about Taylor? Like, we know that at the end of all of this, Ridge and Brooke are going to reunite. So why are they wasting our time with this engagement with Taylor and Ridge, when we know in a few months he's going to just get back with Brooke? They could have brought Nick back on for Taylor, and they could have had their little story. Even if that was going to be temporary, I would much rather have seen that than what we're getting right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know Hope was excited. Oh my God, maybe this is opportunity. We should do better. Da 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 da. Okay.
That was a cute little interaction that Annika and Jack Wagner had. That was adorable because he wanted to adopt Hope. He wanted to be the father of that little girl when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
What is her job? What is her job title right now? She want her line back.
But, I have no idea.
Secretary, like her auntie.
I'm like, girl, you should better be glad you even have an opportunity to come back in that company. You worried about, well, it'll be better if I have my line back. Girl, just be glad you got a job.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like she just tags along with whatever Carter is doing, so maybe she's his assistant.
I guess.
That meets her credentials. Absolutely. And she's talking about, I want a whole fashion. I want my fashion line back. With what fashion?
Right.
They better not bring that line back.
It was all ugly.
Girl.
Like, you don't want to revive ugliness, do you? Well, maybe she does.
I mean, where's the designers? Who's going to do it? Ain't they on the other stuff?
That's a good
and all of this is a perfect opportunity for them to allow Zende to have his own line.
When's the last time we saw this man?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
Whenever the last time Daphne was on screen, I think.
Right before she left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he talked to her about leaving.
Right. And that was, what was that, in early May? It's been almost 2 months ago.
Like mid-May, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so. All right, anyway, we got to talk about the entrapment of Luna Nozawa.
The lack thereof.
Yeah, the lack thereof. I mean, Sheila tried to tell her, like, okay, so he just automatically said that he's now interested in you and he just broke up. Don't that sound kind of funny? Especially since Sheila went through that whole thing with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And Luna's like, you know, you're talking about Grandma. He's in love with me. I got this from here. And Brooke, and not Brooke, Sheila's like, okay.
She said, I'm going to let you have that.
I'm going to let you have it. Like, these girls got to learn, okay? And it's exactly what she did. I was glad that Sheila did that. Luna has to learn this out for herself. Some people just got to learn the hard way. But you would think, as like smart, that how like calculated this girl was when she unalived these two men and got Steffi in that cage. You would have thought she would have seen this train coming.
Right.
But she's just so stuck on, like, oh my God, he's hot.
Delusional.
Yeah, she got caught up into la la land of, oh my God, Will wants me. Yeah, okay.
I mean, the fact that she was even still texting Will after he straight up told her to her face, I don't want anything to do with you. It's just, yeah.
It could have worked, though. I hate that they wrote it this particular way. Like, they could have, if they were throwing Will into the storyline, I agree with it at first, but they really could have utilized him for, like, different scenarios to where he's so deep undercover that they actually do sleep together, and then she comes back from being on the run, comes back pregnant or something.
They threw this together. We were on a whole different storyline last week, and we came back this week, and they were all huddled up.
Just wasn't she supposed to come in? I thought she was going to kidnap Hayes, but that's I guess that's out.
And maybe they had to hurry up and figure out a way to get, because where's Jacqueline supposed to get off screen?
Right.
Sure, but I remember seeing, I don't know what article I was reading or something somebody posted that said that they've recorded a lot of shows ahead of time. I guess one to prepare for her giving birth, but
so
also
she's
for
not
going to
go off screen then?
I just don't think she's going to be off screen for a long period of time because it seems like they've recorded so much ahead.
Okay.
But
That
she's mixed into like even Liam's storyline too. So I'm like, when is she? I was like, it's about to be July, and she about to bust like a grape. At
she
this
might have
point,
already done it.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
thought
She
she was
just hasn't.
Yeah, I thought she was doing like May.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably just hasn't posted. She posts pictures of her kids or makes her announcement when she's ready.
Right.
So she may have already had it, and she just hasn't announced it yet.
Yeah, because I thought maybe they were going to use Luna as a way to get her off screen, but it don't look like that.
It looks like they're gonna get Luna off screen.
Well, I do know that Lisa Yamada got some show she's about to do. They put
the
it.
Legally Blonde.
Yeah. So she's trying to go to other stuff. So maybe, from what I understand, she's supposed to go on the run. So even though, which leaves the door open, obviously, but I don't think she's gonna go to jail. I think she's gonna go on the run.
Yeah.
Not if
Nobody goes to jail on this show.
Yeah, not for long at least.
Right.
I mean, the way this whole thing turned out, you got Will. The fact that she was able to spot the wire and then she quickly pulled out that pew pew. I was like, Will, you were talking too much. You were trying to think that you were about to be running something. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, though. Bill's not going to like that. If anyone can help get that girl in jail, it'll be the man who got her out. Especially when he finds out that she pulled a pew-pew on his son.
And he ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
That's true, but
my thing is, this was dumb in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
This whole setup was just dumb.
It was.
I know she's going to open up to me and blah, blah, blah. And then you go over there fully wired. That girl wants to jump your bones. And that's why she popped the buttons on his shirt.
He was being too obvious in the first place.
Right, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, it had potential. It really did.
But Bree, he thought he was going to go over there and talk her into a confession. That girl was like, no, we got other stuff I want us to do.
And she was like, prove it. You want me? Prove it. Like, she was on to other things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I kind of wish this worked out a little bit, because had she just had she actually slept with him, and let's say he wasn't wearing a wire, he still had that little lipstick camera. And in order for him to really commit to it, he ends up sleeping with her. She's pregnant when she comes back from being on the run. Like, that would have been a really great storyline, but this is how it ended.
I wish she was sticking around. Maybe if they could have cleaned up her character, because I honestly think that there's more chemistry between Will and Luna than there is with Elektra.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Man, if they, but obviously Lisa has other projects to do, so she got to get off screen. But I would have rather seen this coupling over the months that we spent last year with RJ and her, and and the time that we seen Will with Elektra. I'm not feeling that. I understand, she's a virgin and things, ain't nothing wrong with that. I just don't see the chemistry there.
Yeah, she would have been a better fit for RJ.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't related.
Right.
But yeah, I wish this had resulted better. Like,
wait a minute. Are they related?
RJ, yeah, because RJ is Regis' son.
But he's not a Forrester.
No.
Yeah, he's a Maroney by blood. He's not blood related.
Yeah, I guess they're not blood related.
Actually, we were thinking like Elektra didn't come on.
It would have been another instance of like Thomas and what's her Australian
Ivy.
Ivy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, that's true. Very similar. That actually could have worked, but oh well, they got rid of RJ and they turned his house into a daycare. So they that I agree with it. There's it's this very Disney Channel chemistry with him and Elektra, whereas like we get something kind of a little hot and spicy. That's Lisa Yamada. I had to give her credit. No matter who she's in a scene with, she steals the show. But when she's with these men on the show, it is something else.
She's an all-around character because she played the
Yeah.
nice little innocent girl. Then she played the sexy, sultry, I'm gonna seduce, and then she can play the villain.
Yeah, they need to keep this girl around without question.
I don't mind I think Will and Elektra have good chemistry. I think it's because let's remember when Luna and RJ were together, that was boring.
Yeah, because she played.
As good
They
as
both.
an actress, she is. I didn't see the chemistry between them, and their little relationship was boring because of the way they had her portraying Luna, which was the really sweet goody two shoes. She was, supposed to be a virgin, and it was like it was too much. They had her overdoing the nice, innocent, sweet girl act. And
She had better chemistry with Zendaya.
Yeah.
Yes, she did have better chemistry with much better chemistry with Zendaya, even though she was playing, the sweet girl. Her and RJ just they weren't doing it. But it's like I felt like they were going overboard with that with her, instead of allowing her to just be a normal, young, early 20s person. It was like everything was all about RJ. She, didn't want to disappoint him. She wanted to make him happy. They were just doing too much. So at least I feel like with Elektra, they didn't go down that path with her, even though she's a virgin. She's not, sitting in the corner, Mary Sue kind of virgin, because we saw her getting in Luna's face. As stupid as it was more entertaining than watching her, be bullied by Luna.
Girl, wait. You thought that was entertaining? I thought she was being stupid. You'd be the first one.
Stupid. It was stupid. But I'm just saying, generally, I can't stand when they have the characters, there's one character that is just the overbearing bully, and then the other one that's just plays the victim all the time. So that's what I liked about it. Yes, it was stupid because Luna, she's a murderer. However, it was more entertaining to watch her go face to face with Luna than having her sit in a corner and, covering her head while Luna is yelling at her or standing over her, bullying her and threatening her. That's just how I feel about it. So I'm glad that they don't have her acting like that over the top, super sweet, innocent, can do no wrong kind of character.
Like Steffi.
Yeah.
and we see all the craziness that Steffi puts herself in, all these predicaments that girl put herself in. I'm like, you're no different from your cousin.
Yeah, and it's more entertaining. I mean, compared to Hope, who is, at least for me, in my opinion, her character is not as fun to watch because she's not. Oh, she's not messy like that.
She was fun to watch in 23 with Thomas,
and that was because of Thomas.
Hoo-wee.
Oh my God!
Thomas did wonders for her character.
Man, for her fashion, her whole attitude, she was getting it in ways that Liam couldn't help her.
I missed, even, I know we're well past that. We're coming up on 2 years. Well, actually, it's almost 2 years since the whole thing. But, man, that was some great television at that time.
Hmm.
And I mean, Matt Atkinson and Annika Noel had the hottest chemistry ever.
Yeah, they had really good chemistry.
Oh my God, all of the biting and the scratching, and he turned her around and threw her face in that desk, and Lord.
And the minute he left, she went right back to that annoying, boring, bratty, entitled character that she was before him.
Yeah,
She hasn't been the
it's gotta
same
be like you
since.
say. It's gotta be the Thomas character because she's been with Carter. It ain't there. They tried to
Mm-mm.
put even in where she was fantasizing about Finn. It ain't there.
Nope.
Yep. There's
Mm-mm.
just something about that Thomas effect for her that was just
But
something
Matt
else.
Atkinson was always like that. Even when he was on Y&R, he had that dark, type of
Mm-hmm.
sultry guy thing. So I think he brought that out of the whole dope thing, like you said, Keish. It was him.
Yeah.
All right, did we cover everything on B&B?
Yep.
They didn't show any previews for
Girl, they
next week,
did
right?
that last
Am I
week
correct?
too, and the spoilers didn't come out either. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all want us to sit on the edge of our seat for what? Another week of what? Stupidity? Sure, we'll rather watch the spoilers on BTG, even though a lot of us are pissed off, and we're not going to
Yeah.
see
Yes.
anything until July 7th.
I've seen
So mad.
one picture from, and I don't know where they got it from, but it was posted on social media. I'll send it to the group chat, but it's a picture of Sheila. They're at the daycare or the day camp, whatever the beach house, and Luna has on her kidnap outfit, that green and black leather outfit, and she's got her gun with her. So
Oh,
I'll send it to the group
okay, cool.
when we get done. But it was just a picture of that. So obviously Luna probably tries to go, and I don't know if she's trying to kidnap Hayes or if she's trying to take him out because she's jealous. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
They did it to
Anyway.
themselves. They could have Benny got a restraining order and some locks on the door.
Yeah.
That girl wouldn't have paid no attention to a restraining order.
Yeah.
They would have a reason to get her arrested, though.
Mm-hmm.
That is. Yep, I agree with that.
All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Delmonica said we need 36 more likes. Let me check these likes. Yeah, guys, hit the like button.
How
We
many likes
talking
we
some
have?
fun stuff. Let me refresh this. Dun, 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 dun. We are at. Sorry, I had to refresh this, y'all. At 64 likes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And we have 134 in the chat, you guys.
Nice. All right. We got to move on to Beyond the Gates. So, a lot of this week was wrapped around this situation with Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And do we even still know what this man has done?
Technically, no.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if this actually has to do with this character here at the top left. I can't remember his name. Does anyone remember the guy's name?
Can't see the screen.
The waiter.
Yeah, the one that Martin looks like he's about to punch.
I don't know what that waiter's name is.
Yeah, me either.
Have they ever said it?
I have no idea.
Y'all,
but
what in the chat? What is if you guys know? Did they mention the waiter's name? Let me see. I don't remember.
I'm gonna call him Greedy because he was definitely.
Oh, they said Kenny.
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 Kenny. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
South Park. Okay. I can remember that now. So I guess he was there the night that Martin did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on the assumption that he unalived somebody, and Kenny witnessed it. Oh, his brother.
Oh, his
Okay.
brother.
He said
Okay.
that first episode after he whispered in Martin's ear, when Martin confronted him, and I can't remember the exact words that were said, but he referenced that night, and then he said something about my brother didn't make it out alive, or he didn't live to see the next. It was something like that. So I don't know. It was something in reference to apparently his brother dying that night.
Okay. Okay, so I knew it had to be something. Okay, that makes sense. And now you got this man trying to continue on with his blackmail, and that's not going to end very well, as we can see from the bottom right corner. But Kat and Martin are one and the same, in my opinion, because I'm like, everyone's telling you guys to settle down, leave it to us. No, I have to be in the know about everything. You can tell they're related. Like, leave it alone. Like, it's okay. You already told your grandfather is not a house husband this week.
Mm-mm.
Not He's a whole man taking charge and everything. I was like, who is this Vernon? Mm-hmm. We don't ever get to see this with Anita Dupree.
Mm-mm. Because they made it look like Anita runs everything. And then when she went away, he's handling this business. Especially when it comes to Bill Hamilton. With that conversation, Bill was like, he coming there hot. By the time he got through, Bill was like, okay, what you need me to do?
Yeah. I was like, okay, Vernon, he made it to Beyond the Gates. Nice. I
feel like every conversation he's had with Bill, he kind of checks him.
Mm-hmm.
Not. I feel like he's had moments where he tried to check him, and then Bill checkmates at the end. Same thing he was doing with Martin, but this week Vernon got him all the way together. He's like, look, if we go down, please understand you're the fixer. You're gonna go down with all of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Bill quickly changed his tune, and then we find out that Teddy Weddy knew all about this too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This was something else, that all of these moving parts. You got Joey involved, the chief of police, I forget who else, Malone, all of these different people.
Mm-hmm.
All were part of that whole situation.
For next week it looks like Randy.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is Smitty is getting in close with it, because he's putting the pieces together, and he think that his husband got something to do with it.
Yeah. I love, though, that the way this has incorporated multiple characters. Basically, all of the men on the show, for the most part, except for, Audra and Jacob, which Jacob is investigating. That's going to lead to it. Or, wait, no, he's not investigating it. He's just kind of consulting with Smitty.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually they're going to be involved too.
Yep.
But I like that it's including multiple characters.
Yeah, because this also involves his daddy, and I think Smitty kind of warned him about that too, and now Jacob's questioning his own father.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm glad they're beginning to unpack this whole thing with Martin, because it started out back in February when they started the original airing of the show. That was one of the storylines, and it's just been slow moving. So now we're at month number 4, I should say, and now we're starting to really see who's all involved. You know, the guy Kenny that's coming up with him talking about what color is your money and all this kind of stuff. Do y'all think he is? Because I heard Lord, I heard Martin call Kenny a bigot. Does he give undertones of that?
He get a little racy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think
the you peoples and the what did he say? He said something about black royalty. The way he talks, he definitely sounds like he's got an issue with affluent minorities.
yeah, it's he probably thought he was hitting the jackpot when all this went down, because it doesn't even seem like he's but hurt or like sad by what happened to his brother at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he even cares. He just saw Martin as like extra dollar signs.
Yeah, like, ooh, I'm trying to get some money out of him. Well, that also brings us to this plan that they got to get rid of this guy. So they decide to take him downstairs to where Joey's little secret area is. Bill drop off some cash. He thought the man was threatening him. Bill was like, oh no, that's not my job. But there's other moving parts to this. And then the guy that works for Joey, what is his name? Randy. He was the one that pretty much put a gun to his head. So we don't know what happened after that, whether he's going to take this guy out. So basically, I don't understand why he was sitting there counting the money. He should have got that money and got up out of there.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I mean, like, better go.
You can count that money at home. or,
right.
or on your way out of the country.
Something. You waited long enough to where Randy comes out with a pew-pew, and you looking stupid over there at the bottom right corner?
Yeah, so what that tells me is that there's no intention of you having that money. They played you to get there to say, hey, I'm finna give you a whole wad of cash, and now we gonna take it back.
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna actually go through with it. I think which this doesn't make sense to me, because if they let him go, who's to say after that money runs out, he doesn't come back asking for more?
Oh, you mean like Leslie was doing?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. In my opinion, if that's what they're concerned about, then why not? I don't know why they wouldn't just why threaten him instead of just getting rid of the problem.
Yeah, well, I guess I
think with all these other people that are involved, I think Vernon and Bill are going to have a certain understanding, and Joey's going to do his own thing and have his understanding. So they may want to get him out the way, but Joey's going to probably be like, no, we need to just get rid of him altogether. Mm-hmm. And that's going to cause some friction between that whole pack of let's protect Martin crew.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anita popped back in, and she wanted to meet with all of the family members, including Martin. But what do you think about what she had to say to Nicole about her being so pissed off at Danny dating Andre?
It was necessary because Nicole has lost her mind and got nothing to do with her. And that whole conversation she also had with Andre was just overboard. But her mother got it right. Like, you guys, we wanted Danny to move on and move forward to some degree. And, he's giving it to her, so we should just be forever grateful.
Well, that's the interesting thing, y'all, because Nicole is so upset about, oh my God, he's like family. Well, you definitely don't want to be on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Right.
Right. But I agree with Bree. Anita was spot on with what she was saying to Nicole. She said it's not about you, even though Nicole's like, it is about me. And it's like, how is that so? Like, I don't.
She keep talking about how people are keeping things from her.
Yeah, well, she keeps saying that Nicole and Danny, or Danny and Andre betrayed her, and it's like, it was none of your business.
Right.
It was none of your business. That wasn't a betrayal. It was up to them to decide when they were ready to tell people, and they weren't ready. When she asked Danny.
Yeah, like she's supposed to be in the know of everything. It's like, so everybody, you supposed to be Grand Central Station of everybody's business. So you won't feel some kind of way being left out.
And I can, I had no issue with her giving her opinion to Danny and to Andre. And I would even understand if her stance was, if this goes left, or, one of you hurts the other, because she's close with Andre, and of course Danny's her sister, then maybe she'd be concerned about that affecting her relationship with, most likely, Andre, because I don't think she would let something like that ruin her relationship with her sister. But let's say Andre hurts Danny, and she's like,
well, look at
I
that
may
promo.
not be able to look at you the same because of what you, because of how you treated my sister, or what you did to my sister. I can understand that, but she's not even really saying that. And she's trying to act as if she's concerned about Danny being vulnerable, because she said that one day about Danny's too vulnerable when you used her and blah, blah, blah. You knew what she was going through. And telling Danny the same thing, that she's still trying to get over Bill. But right before, or the day of that anniversary party, she was trying to hook Danny up with Carlton. So she wasn't worried about Danny not being ready to date. Not if you was trying to hook her up with other people. You just don't like that it's Andre.
Right.
Specifically. Right.
Exactly. Then we had Ashley and Andre. Ashley is 2 seconds off of a rebound of breaking up with Derek. And she decided to ask Andre to go out for drinks or whatever. It's like, girl, if you don't sit down. But see, low key, she's been wanting to be with Andre, but she's been holding out, trying to save face with Derek.
She don't give a damn about Derek. She never did. This is the result that she wanted. She had no intentions whatsoever to be a wife. She wants to be a casualty.
Mm-hmm.
And she picked the right person to do it. She wanted the man that all the other women have had. And she didn't want anything serious. And she was like, oh, who better to do this with?
Yeah,
you just got off of a 2-year relationship.
With a man that wanted marriage and some kids.
And was all about her.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't good enough. So you had to get a male 304. Yep. Because he doesn't take life seriously. She was never meant to be a wife. She was never meant to have marriage. None of that. She is just a train wreck. And if Andre wants it, by all means, he likes train wreck type of women, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We also had the conversation between Danny and Bill. I wish they would have started off with these two. I like the chemistry between Danny and Bill.
I do too. I don't mind the way that it started. I love the flashback scenes. I wish we had more of it. And yeah, granted, it would have been a better storyline arc if we saw Haley come in and we saw her actually be friends with Naomi, and we see all that bond, and we see her sneak off to have an affair with Bill. I agree with that. That's why I am hoping, and writers, I hope you're listening, give us some flashback scenes so we can actually see those different interactions, so we can kind of play catch up as a viewer, as to how everyone landed the way they are now. But they have fantastic chemistry. But that's Carla being Carla, in my opinion. She's just
you got chemistry with everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. Haley is just. I understand what they're trying to do with this. Oh, he's the guy that cheated with the younger woman who happens to be his daughter's friend, and now they married. That whole scandalous type of thing. But there's no chemistry between him and Haley. I just don't. I don't know.
And there's no baby apparently either.
Yeah, because she's... go ahead, Bree, you got more on that, because I did not see Wednesday's episode. It was a preemption locally here, so...
Keisha, did you see it?
Well, y'all go ahead and have at it.
This heifer lying about a whole baby. And I think she's paying off that OBGYN too that came in. But the thing that got me, this girl was fully dressed in a hospital bed. Where's your hospital gown? Why couldn't you allow your husband to see this quote unquote ultrasound? None of this. And all of a sudden now you're 10 weeks pregnant and you're cramping like that, but your baby's fine. These are happy tears and blah, 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 blah. You got this OBGYN that comes in and says, oh, your baby's great. We did the ultrasound. We checked her. Everything's fine. You guys can go home and blah, 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 blah. And then Ashley asked, like, what was the ultrasound? Like, oh, the patient didn't want to do an ultrasound to see how her baby is. She was talking about like, oh, the baby's the size of an apricot and everything. This little lion heifer. Danny called it. Called it all. I'm like, how are you going to fake a baby going forward if you're saying that you're 10 weeks pregnant?
Yeah. But my thing is you're gonna have to pay the piper in 9 months. So, what was the end game to get? Well, he did order a $10 million life insurance. Was it $10 million?
It was $10
million.
He got a $10 million life insurance policy on himself. I guess that's just as bad as Kyle putting $5 million on his own head.
It's just as stupid. This further my suspicion that Haley is just lying about all things in regards to her life. I don't believe she grew up in an orphanage. I don't believe that she doesn't know who her family is. I think this woman is just a bundle of lies, all her hair bundles, all of it. I feel, and that fact that there's an interaction in the previews between Leslie and Haley, like I was saying when this show started, I feel that is her real mother. I feel like they're scheming together.
Who are you talking about, Haley and Leslie?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't believe that Eva's still Leslie's daughter. I still don't. I don't. And
where would Haley have been growing up while Eva was being raised?
I had no idea. The fact that they're not doing any background check when it comes to Haley. They just accepted the fact that this woman said that, oh, she grew up in an orphanage. She didn't know who her family is. None of those different things. And then the fact that Eva and Kat are so close in age. They're literally just by weeks apart. The fact that we know that Leslie is no stranger to putting on a nurse outfit and just hopping in and out, and we see how desperate she is to have a piece of Ted. Like, just the fact that something tells me that those are fraternal twins. I'm still going to stick by that. But anyway, back to Haley and Leslie just sitting down. Like, how do these women even know each other? They don't even run in the same circles.
Well, we'll find out in another week.
I am curious to see if they knew each other previously. I don't think that she's Leslie's daughter, but it would be interesting if they do know each other, and that would explain why maybe one or the other is decided to target what's his name, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could connect those dots, but Danny was right all along. I can't stand the way Danny is so invested on proving that she is lying about that pregnancy, because I mean, it's none of her business. Like, she needs to move on from that man.
Yeah.
And despite the fact, even when it comes out that Haley is scamming Bill, we still know that Bill has a history of cheating, because they talked about it in the beginning of this show,
Right?
Where Danny talked about the other women that he was cheating with, and she basically just turned a blind eye because at the end of it, he always came home to her or whatever. So it's not as if Haley was the one time that he decided to cheat and leave her. Like, this man has been treating her like crap this whole time. And it drives me nuts that she is so invested in proving that Haley is a liar and trying to break that marriage up because she still wants to be with that man. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the fact that even the way that he talks to her, they had that little, I guess, somewhat heartfelt conversation the day before, or that same day. And then what happened at the hospital when he thought that Danny was the reason that Haley was there? He went out there and completely insulted her, talking about, well, it's been decades since you've been pregnant. Now I'm going to take my wife home and cater to her, whatever it was that he said. Basically, once again, rubbing it in Danny's face, humiliating her in front of people, and, demeaning her and trying to make her feel small because he felt like she hurt his new wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That man doesn't, and people keep saying, oh, he still loves Danny. That's why he moved into that neighborhood, and that's why he made her come to that wedding, because he's just upset, and that was just his way of punishing her because he was hurt by whatever happened in their marriage, whatever it was. And it's like, the stuff that man says to her and the way that he treats her, I feel like he hates her.
Wow.
I don't think he's still in love with her, because you wouldn't say the stuff that he says to Danny. You wouldn't say it to somebody that you still love or that you're in love with.
Yeah. I feel like he gets off on the fact that this woman still wants him. Like, he feels like he's still got it or something. Like, you can tell, like, his whole ego, his whole demeanor. That's why he allows Danny to do exactly what she does.
Mm-hmm.
Her coming into the house, her storming in, her making a fool of herself. He loves that. And the fact that she is heavily invested, like, I understand 30 plus years, I get that. Fine. But how many times has this man had to tell you to your face, I don't want you, I want her? And on top of that, he wanted several other women while within your marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that, but that's the man that she wants, and looks like she might end up getting that man.
Yeah, her and Brooke is running neck and neck.
And you know what was funny? When Bill asked to see the ultrasound, Haley said, like, oh, it's going to come by the email.
Yeah, the video. Yeah.
The video, like, something that could be easily doctored.
Right.
Like, you at the hospital, why can't you get it right there?
I mean, even with the first ultrasound that she put in the little slideshow, you mean to tell me your first child, you didn't have him come with you to get this ultrasound?
Right.
You didn't have him come with you to the first appointment where you guys were going to hear your baby's heartbeat?
Yeah.
You just did it on your own, and then you surprised him with the ultrasound picture and put it in the little slideshow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Delmonica, like you said, we're brain sisters. I agree. Leslie and Haley, they had to be mother and daughter. I know we were thinking about June, who was the homeless woman. Here's the odd thing. I was thinking like maybe she is related to Haley, but I also feel that she's also related to Leslie. What if they're all related to each other?
I don't think they're. I don't know. I don't need everybody to be related on this show. They can just be friends or just met each other somehow. I don't need them to be related though. That's where shows mess up, is they try to connect everybody by blood or by relation. Like, just let them have met each other at some point, or I don't know. I don't want her to be. I don't need her to be Leslie's daughter, because then that takes away. Later on down the line, that takes away being able to introduce Haley's actual family, like more characters, another dynamic, another like branch of a family if they make her Leslie's daughter. And then her and Eva are too close in age. Like, there's no way that she could have raised them both separately.
I think however they could go about this, because I'm going to, like, if I were writing the show, have Haley marry the man who told her to get rid of her. Because remember, Bill had threatened Leslie. She was making up that whole story, saying that Bill was paying me off to do the AB and threatened to try to unalive her, all these different things. And what if Haley was the child that she was carrying, and she ends up marrying this man, go after his millions and everything?
I guess
like that would.
So then Haley would be Ted's daughter?
No, I don't think she would have any relation to Ted anyway. I think that she would have raised Eva as if that was her child. I really feel Kat and Eva, they have to be twins. Because I saw when someone pointed out in the chat that even Ted said, like, oh, they both roll their eyes the same. They both act so much alike. They gotta be fraternal twins. I think she took one of those babies so she can try to maneuver some money out of Ted and still keep him in her orbit. And then where she finally has this moment to reveal that she had his child, the way that she treats Eva is not like a mother and daughter relationship. Actually, hell, Nicole is still more sympathetic and motherly to Eva than Leslie is.
I mean, there's bad mothers that exist.
Yeah. But this is just something, I don't know. I want to see it later down the line, but
I did at one point, but I do not want Eva to be Nicole's child.
Really?
No, Eva has been completely let off the hook. Everybody has basically forgiven her except for Kat. Like you said, even Nicole is being nice to her. And they have made me completely dislike the Eva character with the way that she has been coddled by everybody on screen, and the way that she has had everything handed to her, despite the fact that she set out to humiliate Nicole.
Yep.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, and I enjoy the character for what she is, because she's a good actress. The character is a good character, a good antagonist to Kat. The same with Leslie. She's a great antagonist, so I enjoy them for what they are, but I don't like the characters for the inside the universe treatment that they've been able to get, or really that Eva has been able to get, where, I mean, this girl, Ted handed her a salon job.
She didn't want it.
Yeah, and it wasn't good enough for her. So now she's got another job, which is what she really wanted, because she said she liked being a personal assistant. So it's just like, she just keeps getting handed stuff.
I don't even believe that. I think that she wanted Kat's job, so she can, like she was saying, that
Probably.
she's going to outdo Kat, and she's getting the Claire Newman rollout, where she does something wrong, and she's still protecting the person, the perpetrator, and then she's getting all the bells and whistles. Like, she's put up in an expensive hotel. This man is treating her to different things. Like you said, she got a job. She didn't want the job. He's giving her Kat's job, was a high-paying position for a plastic surgeon. Like, she is getting the full rollout.
Yeah. And I can't stand the way that she, in every scene with Ted, she takes some type of jab at Kat. Like when she said, was it yesterday when she was like, I know you did Kat's nose. Like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, and like, you're mad at the wrong person, because this is the same person who's calling you and your mother out on your stuff, and you know she's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know she's right about you protecting your mother for what happened to Laura.
And Ted just sits there and lets her do it.
Yeah, he can miss me with that.
Right. Oh, Lord.
He just sits there and lets her do it.
Yep.
What really made me mad about Ted this week was when he was telling Eva, the one thing that Kat has that you don't have is your ability to make people feel confident, or whatever it was that he said to her. When he was talking about the patients, about how she can, she would be good at making patients feel good about themselves, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why was it even necessary for you to point out something that Kat isn't good at to make her feel better?
Right. This complete disrespect. I understand that he's trying to make up for what happened with Eva, fine, but don't put your other daughter down.
Exactly.
Especially when she's trying to help her family, when nobody believed her about Eva and her mother.
Yeah. He could have given Eva that same compliment and left Kat out of it. He could have just said, you're really good at, boosting people's confidence and being positive and giving people compliments and blah, blah, blah. That's helpful in this office because we have a lot of patients that come in for surgery, whatever. The Kat's name didn't even have to come up.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it was very insensitive. And then you call this girl to help train your other daughter for her old job.
Right.
After the fact. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got to talk about the triangle that's about to form between
Tomas.
Oh, yeah, what Tomas. Was that on Wednesday?
Yeah, Kat and Tomas were having dinner. This girl went out of her way to make sure he had the special dinner, and then she's like, look, I want to give you some. But before that, Eva comes to the table. They have that little flirtatious moment right in front of Kat. They go to Kat's house, and all of a sudden, he can't do it. He doesn't want to anymore. I'm really over Tomas and Kat. Just the way that he treats her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they didn't go through with it either.
Yep.
Yeah, because I do not want him to be the one that she loses that to.
Yeah, because he clearly has interest in her sister.
Eva, looking at her over the table, and that girl created a special meal with from Spain or Brazil or something, but going out of her way and say like, hey, I want you, and I want you to be my first, and all of a sudden now you were crying about it last week, getting these sad faces to the camera, and now all of a sudden now you can't do it.
Right.
Yeah, which I think is clearly because he realizes that. I think he realizes he has feelings for Eva, and he probably would feel guilty if he does that, and then decides, Eva's who I really want to be with. Sorry, I just took your virginity from you.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Yeah, he was just disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. And then what about this other new triangle forming that now happens with what's her name? Chelsea?
Chelsea and Madison and the other girl,
Allison.
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 Allison need to go have a seat somewhere.
Yeah, all of them do, to be honest. Like, I blink and, like, everything changes. This girl, met this girl, what, less than 2 weeks? You in love, that's your girlfriend, and then this Allison girl, you were just crying about, this whole married woman. Now she doesn't want to be married anymore because she can't be around her husband, even though they were sharing other women. I won't say other people because we don't know what all they had going on, but other people, and they were talking about how they had such a good, close relationship, and he was meeting, Chelsea, and then she pops, like, this is just a lot at once. I don't know what to make of it yet. This is definitely a twist in comparison to Mariah and Tessa, that's for sure. They make Mariah and Tessa look like the stable marriage. The stable marriage.
This is the thing about that didn't make, two things that didn't make sense to me, or that was kind of ridiculous, was we saw Chelsea a few weeks ago trying to get that woman to leave her husband for her.
Yeah.
And then today we find out from Chelsea's own mouth that they had only had a couple of encounters, and she said their brief history. So you had only been with this couple twice. You guys didn't know each other for that long, and you was trying to convince this woman to leave her husband.
Right.
Yeah. And you said, like, I really don't know you guys.
Yeah. But you was trying to get her to leave her husband.
But she was crying and butthurt and storming off in front of her mom, and then, like, going to anyone who can hear her about this, and she was talking with Vernon about this whole breakup thing, and I'm like, you don't even know the chick. Like,
right.
She...
But then the other... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, but then the other thing is, this woman just got finished telling you that she's scared of her husband, and that she told her husband that she wanted to spend a long time with Chelsea, and that made him angry, and basically told her she couldn't see her, and it was either her or him, and then she, told Chelsea that she was scared of her husband, but then tells Chelsea that she wants to spend time with her. And I'm like, the last thing Chelsea needs to do, which, I mean, I don't think she answered that question today, did she? Didn't go off before they finished the conversation.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to do is start spending time with you after you've told me that you're scared of your husband and that he was angry when you told him that you wanted to spend one-on-one time with me. You're not about to put me in the middle of that mess. And she offered for her to talk to Jacob because Jacob's a cop. And she's like, oh, no, I don't want to go that far yet. Well, then you must not be that scared.
Right.
Right.
You can't be that scared if you in here talking to me, talking about you basically trying to have an affair with me, and you don't want to go to the cops about your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they're polyamorous, but I thought they were just, they were the couple that just had their fun with other people. It was a bit confusion. But Chelsea moves so freaking fast. She's a fast girl without question. And she's less than smart too.
She's less than smart.
But the way that Madison was talking her up, like, you're smart too. I'm like, like, okay, like, I know you like the girl, but let's be real. But Yeah, so I guess she's in a whole love triangle. She went from having lovers to having these two women, I guess, fight for her now. Even though I don't trust Madison at all. She's sketchy.
Well, we'll see if they're actually in a love triangle. Chelsea may turn this girl down next week because supposedly she's in love with Madison.
Introducing it to the family and everything within a week's time.
Right.
I'm like, Lord.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess we'll find out in about a week what her answer is going to be.
I'm like, you don't ask for a background check. You just off with the wind.
You said just go with it, huh?
Just go with it. She just I guess, I don't know. She just flighty is the word.
Yeah.
Very flighty and not smart at all, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, did we cover everything from BTG?
No, we did not talk about Ted and the way he went off on Nicole.
Ooh.
Was that on Wednesday too?
Wednesday or Thursday.
I don't remember that.
This is when he...
Wait. I remember. I think that was Tuesday. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they went back and forth.
Where Eva was telling him, you need to go talk to your wife and make sure you don't get all the secrets out or something. I'm like, that's ironic. But she's thinking that he's about to tell her about Andre and Danny. And she goes off on him, and then he tells her to basically take a seat, like it has nothing to do with you. It's not even my secret to tell, and you get off of your high horse, basically.
Okay.
Which I agree with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That part of it I agree with. Now, when he started trying to lump himself in with everybody else, talking about everybody is afraid to let you down, and you're pushing everybody away. And it was like it was almost as if he was blaming her for the reason why he lied about having an affair. That part I didn't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to take a seat himself for that one, because he totally tried to guilt her, and he tried to turn around on her. I did this because you're so hard to please and nobody can disappoint you. No, sir. You cannot blame her for your affair.
You had a whole baby.
Yeah, and he tried to say something about the kid, like her pushing away the kids and Danny, and I forget who else he referenced. And it's like, first of all, we haven't seen any issues between her and Kat. Her and Martin don't have issues, even though Martin, has that secret that they're hiding from her. But don't try to put yourself in with everyone else and saying, we thought we could trust you. No.
You're her whole husband.
Right.
Yeah, what he did is completely separate and different than anything anybody else might be feeling about Nicole. And I don't think had their kids or Danny or her parents or even Andre had been in that room with him when he said that, I think they all would have been side-eyeing Ted and looking at him like, there is no we here. We didn't do what you did.
Right.
Yeah, he was just very dismissive, I felt like, of Nicole and how she felt. And it's almost like he's pissed that she won't forgive him yet. And it's only been, a month since this came out? Maybe a month and a half? Like, this was a 20-plus year secret that you kept from her that produced a child.
Yeah. I agree. But he was right on point telling her to get off of her high horse, because she was working my nerves the way that she was going off on Andre. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Like, that's overboard.
And
like,
so you're doing too much.
Yeah, I agree with his assessment of how she reacted to Andre and Danny.
Mm-hmm. Now that we cover everything.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to make sure. All right, so we got to get to our other 4 segments. Our flip the script, who's taking several seats, star of the week, pickle of the week, and the Simple Olympics. So with Young and the Restless, flip the script.
I would have had Sally bud out and let Audra fall flat on her face. If she wants to get herself in trouble, let her do it.
Okay. What you got, Keish?
I'd say Phyllis just not being there at all.
Wow.
She made me mad the whole week.
Oh, that was
the whole week and a half.
You didn't want her to
she
be a
almost
niece?
lost her friend.
No, because she was, in my opinion, I feel like she was disrespectful to Amanda. Amanda did her a favor.
Right.
Yep. And she was about to lose her only friend talking to Kane, saying that, I was going to have Amanda come along with me and she's going to help me run things. And he was like, I didn't realize Amanda was unhappy with her job.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind Phyllis being there because, I mean, obviously,
someone has to be messy.
She's messy, and at the same time, they're pointing out the fact that, she's going to be a big part of what's going on this summer. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What you flip? Bree, you already flipped. My turn. Young and the Restless. I wish somebody would call Lily out. I need somebody like a Cat on Young and the Restless to call her out because she acting all, oh my God, how could he do this? I'm like, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, your baby daddy is a billionaire who wants to be around his children. Shut up.
You know what I would have loved? That would have been another flip. Is Kane didn't want Lily, that he was actually in a relationship with Amanda. Like they were kind of predicting in the spoilers. I actually would have been here for that. And Lily be very and completely jealous.
That would have been interesting.
Yes.
All right, what y'all flipping on bold?
The writing.
Yeah, that whole thing proposal. That whole proposal, that stupid trap, all of that stuff. It's just crazy to me. That bold is just, I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna flip the writing or something else.
Right. And stop holding back all the spoilers. Bring them out like everybody else.
Yeah.
Change
your opinion.
What you got, Keish?
I'm with Bree.
The same thing.
The writing, especially that proposal.
I know, right?
That was so crazy.
What y'all flipping on BTG?
I would have loved for Bill to have demanded to see the ultrasound pictures instead of just running with what Haley was saying.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Who's taking a seat on Y&R? Wait a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keish? What you flipping on BTG?
Oh, I'm over here like, let's move on to the next thing. I'd say, for once, I'd like to hear Ted tell Eva to cool it with all the jabs that he's giving Kat. Because he does it to Kat. When Kat says, well, except when she called Eva his little B daughter. I think that was the first time that he didn't actually say anything to her. But normally, he tries to check Eva or Kat when she says something about Eva. I would like to see him do that with Kat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even Steven.
Yep, because he's always letting her slide, but then you'll
Mm-hmm.
call stop cat. Oh, don't say that, don't do that, blah 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 blah.
Yep. Tomas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish obviously it's gonna come out, but from the way it sounded and what I missed with that whole fake ultrasound, she need to get put on blast. But obviously it's gonna come out later. It ain't gonna be too soon.
Well, Ashley knows, so
Oh, okay.
yeah. Ashley was the one that asked. I think she asked the nurse how Haley
How's
was
the baby?
doing, or how
And
the
that's
baby
the-
was.
And
Mhm.
the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hope
And-
it'd be nice if Ashley put on blast then.
She gonna use that to her advantage to keep Andre away from Danny.
I don't think she's that cunning.
Mm-mm.
She quick to run her mouth though.
Ashley?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
she quick to run her mouth. She a little smart with her mouth. The way she was talking with Danny.
Well, yeah, because Danny was trying to get her to be unethical as far as telling her Haley's business. So I don't see her using that as I don't know. That's something.
We gotta see you in 2 weeks from now, sadly.
Right. All right. Now who's taking seats on Y&R?
The Winters,
Man, you gonna give them all a seat, huh?
Nate included. Yeah, sure will.
Wait, what'd they do?
He going down memory lane with Victoria. All
Yeah, like you know, spin the block, as Bree said earlier.
yeah, he
Well,
can take his seat too.
Who was good enough for Nate for you? Because it ain't
Uh,
Audra. It's not Victoria, apparently.
No, I actually really loved him and Elena together. I would love to see like Amanda's sister and him together to see what that was going to turn out like, but it's definitely not Audra. Like, no, you can put that used mattress back on the corner. And Audra can take a seat somewhere.
Yeah, Audra needs to sit down. Yeah,
Whether
Lily.
it's
Yeah, I'm
Kane or
gonna
Kyle.
carve out. I mean, cause yeah, I know you took all of the winners, but Lily definitely got to take a giant set of stadium seats.
Oh yeah.
Cause she getting on
Without
my
question.
nerves. All right, did you say yours, Keish?
I'll say Kane.
Really?
Lily, of course. Yeah, this whole elaborate, mysterious trip to Nice was just pointless and made zero sense.
Okay.
We didn't need it. He was doing too much.
But we have to see what's on Monday though, because it's all part of his master plan. I can't wait to watch that.
Mm-hmm. You enjoy it.
I'm gonna give whoever is in charge of casting a seat too, because Connor Floyd is leaving.
Oh,
And he wasn't shirtless.
girl, you're so funny. You are a fool.
Victor and Nikki can also have seats just because they annoy me.
Lord.
Oh wow.
You just want everybody. Well, they all taking a seat right on that island. They can't go nowhere.
They
Yeah,
can't
that's
go
true.
nowhere.
I just didn't like how they were sitting there talking about how they can't trust Lily, and it's like you guys were the ones that, as annoying and frustrating as Lily can be, they were the ones that broke that trust with her first because of what they did.
Right.
And now they talking about, well, I mean, we did take Chancellor from her and blah, blah, blah. She could be setting us up. Okay. Well, you created that, so you got to live with it.
Right. That's crazy. All right. Who's taking seats on Bold?
Oh, wow, they all really could take a seat.
Brooke and Taylor gonna take a seat for me.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm gonna give Will a seat for even volunteering to do this.
Well, if Will don't watch it, he gonna get a seat right on a stretcher.
Okay.
You know what? We ain't seen Bill in a couple of weeks, but he gonna get a seat because he's the reason why Will isn't even in this position.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, Will is in this position because of that, because he didn't have to do all this stuff.
I know he didn't. But
They
he
should have
said,
got a restraining order a long time ago.
I agree with that. But Will said that he wanted to fix his father's mistake. So I'm gonna put a lot of this on Bill.
And Fan.
Nope, on Bill. She was nice and secure. She was nice and secure in jail, and Bill went and got her out. Jumped through all those hoops.
Hazel McCoy in the chat said Lieutenant Baker need to take a seat.
Look, I
What do I always say about soap cops? They're not smart. They're always portrayed as incompetent.
You think Jacob is incompetent?
Everybody else does their job. Huh?
You think Jacob is incompetent?
I mean, look what they're doing. They basically have Kat.
That's true.
Being the one that unravels.
Yeah.
It's not Jacob doing it. It's Kat doing it. And Kat bringing him all of this information that is leading him to look further into things.
That is true.
They do that on every soap with every cop. Oh, well, CBS soap. I don't know about the other ones.
Gotcha. All right. All the seats for Bold is done. Then who's taking a seat on BTG?
Ted.
Dang.
Haley and her Invisi baby.
Yep, she can take a seat too. Danny can take a seat because she was being ridiculous this week too.
I'm going to Kenny is already in a seat with a gun in his face, so. That's what he get for running his mouth, trying to talk about what color people's money is and talk about you people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's gonna take a permanent seat from the looks of things. And Martin can take a seat. My Lord, just like his sister, just sit down somewhere.
Martin is a loose cannon. They tell him, look, we gonna take care of this. No, I want to know what's going on. Y'all gonna tell me everything. I'm like, dude, you can't even handle the information that you're giving. You're going to have a conniption.
And every time he was talking with Kenny, he having a whole panic to the point where Smitty is noticing each and every single time.
Mm-hmm.
He going to Vernon.
That man is a ball of emotions. It's like, dude, you gonna blow your top. You need to go sit down, do some USA breaths or something.
And he was trying to run for president.
Right.
That part.
Oh, man. Okay, everybody got all their seats in for BTG? Anybody else? That's it? Okay. All right. Next up is Star of the Week for YNR.
I'm going to give it to Billy Flynn. He's just... I welcome this edition. He's given a brand new take to Kane, and I'm here for it. And plus, a very handsome man.
Yeah, I like this recast. I know there's been a lot of flack online about him not being Australian and not being around the same age as the previous Kane, but I like the casting.
Yeah. I'll get over it. It'll be fine.
You'll get over it. All right. Let's see. Star of the Week. If I had to switch it off to somebody else, I do like that moment between Michelle Stafford and Sharon Case.
Yeah. That was a good scene with those two.
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. And they walked off together with like the picture right there in the second row, second from the top. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that little connection.
Hopefully next week they're not back to
fighting over Nick.
Shading with each other. Yeah.
All right. Everybody got their stars in? Okay, bold stars.
Mm,
I'm gonna give it to Lisa. The girl, I
I
can't think of
suppose.
nobody else.
I'm trying to really think.
I mean, I guess just performance-wise, I can agree with Lisa. The story though, I'm about tired of listening to her whine about her childhood
Yeah, I agree.
and how nobody loves her and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have one.
Okay, well, we can keep it moving. Star on BTG.
Man, there are so many.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it to someone a little bit different. I'm gonna give it to the actress who plays Nicole. Daphne Duplay. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but she has like I think that she definitely fits this particular role incredibly well. I just the way that she's been going off on both her sister in front of family, Andre, her husband, like she was definitely working my nerves, so that makes her a very good actress.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's see. I would choose. I don't know. I'm trying to pick somebody. They were all. It was really good this week. It was just
Yeah.
good in general.
Like my second would have been the guy who plays Martin,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then the actor who plays Bill. Like it was just there's so many to choose from this week.
It was a good problem to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just give out just. It was a good week. I'll give stars of the week to BTG itself. So.
Yeah.
The writers.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
It
their
was
dialogue
good.
is so good.
Yep.
Yeah. That's perfect. The writing, the whole show in general, that was just great this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It was good. All right. Pickle of the week. Y&R Lily.
It was lightning speed.
Yep.
I can't even. I'll give it to Audra, but that's just
The whole trip to Nice.
Oh yeah, you can't. Kesha said she could have slept through this whole week.
And we're gonna get probably 2 more weeks of this, by the way.
Oh my god. I'm more excited about seeing Kane come back to Genoa City while they're stuck out there. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I can't wait for Monday's episode. I'm about to watch it as soon as we finish here.
Okay. And
I'll
I got
send my
because I gotta
notes.
go watch Love Island. So, right, Keish.
Yep. I done had it with Y&R. They done got rid of Summer. They about to get rid of Chance.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He was one of the finest ones on the show.
Just a beautiful man.
Just
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
just
Jenna's
crazy.
man. We sorry, Jenna.
Jenna's man.
I mean, beautiful enough to make me start watching Days. And I ain't
Yeah.
never watched that soap a day in my life.
Yeah, that's true. She is doing. Jenna said Lily, and Lily again.
Right.
And Hazel said Damien's getting the pickle. And yeah, Audra for sure,
Well,
without question. She's
Damien
getting the pickle.
definitely want to give his pickle to Lily.
Yeah.
At any means necessary.
Like, there's other women. Like, we could have saw him had interaction with him and Amanda, but anything else. But
Right.
this, but
Lily is just, oh, God. It's just been a train wreck.
insufferable.
What'd you say?
Insufferable.
Yeah. Tell me about
She's
it.
just. Ugh.
Yeah.
I just really need them to hire Michelle Morgan back.
For you
Yeah,
mean
like
like put her on a
permanently.
long-term contract?
Yeah, instead of these short-term, um,
Mm-hmm.
I think she's trying to do more prime time stuff like Justin Hartley's prime time now.
Yeah, well, I need them to recast her then, because I want Amanda back permanently, and her sister.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah,
nice if they
Armani.
brought Hillary back. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's
Okay. Um, let's see. Pickle on Bold.
Everything.
Yeah. That whole proposal was a pickle to me. I'm like,
Yes.
why?
It was secondhand embarrassment watching that.
Oh my God, Taylor, and it's all based on insecurity. She talking about it's empowerment. No, you're insecure, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opposite of empowerment.
My pickle would be Brooke's tears.
Oh, Lord, girl, you crazy.
Because why?
Why?
At this point, why?
Because it's her destiny. Her destiny is engaged now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, poor little Dusty
that dream
Destiny.
is over.
Her little Dusty Destiny.
It's full of cobwebs at this point. Like, find a new destiny.
And Nick definitely want to knock out the cobwebs.
It has been a minute since Brooke had a little something. That's true.
Yep,
wow,
that is true.
This is Brooke's celibate.
Yep.
This is new.
Mm-hmm. And Hope is definitely trying to get her to move on, but she's still stuck on Dusty Destiny Ridge.
Hope is just as confused as Brooke is, because just a month ago she was telling her she wanted her to be happy with Ridge.
That is true. So
yeah, she
back and forth herself.
Mm-hmm. And a couple of months before that, she hated Ridge and didn't want her mom to have anything to do with him anymore because she stole his company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then for a decade before that, she was team Bridge and was arguing with Steffi about it. That girl don't know what she wants.
Mm-mm. All right, BTG.
My pickle is gonna go to Eva's smug attitude towards Kat.
Okay.
Mine is gonna go to Tomas.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna give one to Nicole, cause it's like you're not entitled to everybody's business. Go sit down somewhere. I understand you mad at Ted, but be mad at Ted. They ain't got nothing to do with you being mad at Danny for not telling you who she had in her bed.
Right.
It's her business.
Right. So.
Man, she about to blow up though when she finds out about Martin's secret.
Oof. Yeah, but then she gotta be mad at her daddy. She gotta be mad at Ted. She gonna be mad at a lot of folk.
Her mama too. Doesn't her mom know
yes, she know too.
They all know.
They all know what's going on with her son, but her. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. All right, and then we got our Simple Olympics at the bronze. Brooke. This is mine. At the bronze, Brooke. At the silver. What's she laughing? Cause I mean, Nick, yeah.
Yeah, we can give him bronze.
You mean okay?
Cause he knows better.
Right. And then gold, I was going to, cause the Damien has the platinum for me, and Nick over on bold has the gold. I mean, the gold.
I agree with that. I think Taylor needs to get a medal as well.
I won't put Taylor on there only because Ridge accepted her proposal.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't 100%, he should have said no.
I agree. Mm-hmm. And did you say Kane was getting a medal as well?
No.
He needs one for wanting to give up his whole fortune for her.
He needs one.
Yeah. That man is about to, he wanted to sell all of his companies to get chancellor so he can get that for his Lily Poo. Yeah, but Damien takes the cake for me. That you Lily used you to stick it to her ex. And then you turn
Yeah.
around and say, I know you use me, but that's okay. You can continue to use me as much as you want.
Yeah, he's king simp for that one.
Yep. She said king simp.
Like, this woman has been playing you to the side for months now.
Mm-hmm.
And you just accept it, but still buy her gifts and kiss her tail
Yep.
and allow yourself to be used to make other men jealous.
Mm-hmm. All because he got that fake kiss. And he enjoyed it too. He was like, "Shoo, you want to fake kiss me again? I'm here for it."
Pitiful.
Just pitiful.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, all right, y'all got it all in. Anything else y'all want to bring up?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah,
Y'all
Nothing for
good.
me.
Alrighty then.
I'm disappointed about this preemption, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we back to watching 2 soaps next week, for at least a
Yeah.
week, and then I don't know. July 4th, is that going? I gotta check the spoil. Well, ain't no bold spoilers out, but I gotta check Y&R to see if we got an actual new episode on the 4th of July.
I think we usually do get a new episode
Okay.
on the 4th.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And Keish, are you caught up with Love Island?
Yes, I just have to watch the episode tonight.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Ooh wee. I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
talk to you about that one.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you guys, we're gonna cut it right here. You guys have an amazing weekend. Stay tuned for the spoilers, at least Y&R, which would be on the Y&R Unfiltered channel, which Bree did put the links in the chat. Thank you guys for supporting those other channels as well. There will be no new episodes for Beyond the Gates next week, so we won't, all those promos that we saw, we won't see that for until the week of the 7th through the 11th. So we got to wait a whole week. And then Bowl is trying to play tiddlywinks with us as usual once again this week because they're not dropping any spoilers. We didn't even get a promo.
Well, we can pretty much write the script ourselves at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they trying to hype it all up, but it's going to be like, okay, and what? We still going to,
Yep.
yeah, whatever. Did y'all see something about, I saw something on the She Knows Soap website about what Scott Clifton being in an accident or something?
His girlfriend was in an accident. So you know that duration where we didn't see Scott for a while?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she was severely injured to the point where I think she was bedridden. She had posted something. I'll post it in our group chat.
Okay.
Where he was taking care of her this
Okay.
whole time.
Wow.
Because it affected her spine.
Ooh.
So this
Yeah, I
was
saw the pictures on his story.
Oh
it
my
was a
God.
severe thing, and she was thanking Matt Atkinson and his wife Brittany for showing support and coming to visit her and spending time with her too. It was a thing, but that was the reason why he had disappeared for a duration of time, and we were wondering, like, well, is he okay? Is he sick? Did he have the the whatchamacallit?
Right.
So that's what he was doing. He was being a really good boyfriend.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like this is a kind of like a lesson in, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, because I remember people putting out all kinds of assumptions and rumors. Like, people were blaming Tanner for why Scott Clifton's screen time was reduced. They were blaming illness. They were blaming, he just doesn't want to work anymore, or he's decided to do and it's like, you haven't seen anything come from the actors, anything come from the show. discussing why Scott hadn't been on screen.
Right.
And then we find out months later that it had to do with his girlfriend being in a serious accident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wish people, because you see it a lot on Twitter and on some of the other social media sites, to just stop putting out your speculations and your rumors about what's going on in somebody's private life.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. But has she recovered?
I think she's somewhat making more of a recovery. That's why we're seeing him more on screen now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reason why he was off screen for that duration of time.
Okay, gotcha.
And it looked like the pictures that he posted, it was kind of like a progression of her scars healing on her back. So it seems like she's getting better.
Okay, well, that's good. That is really good to hear. Wow. All right, I wanted to ask right quick. It came across my screen. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna ask about that. So I'm glad I get to know what was the deal with that whole situation. All right, you guys. I will let you guys go. Have a great weekend, and Keish, we will definitely be in touch. And
Yes.
I will talk to you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Good night, everybody.